What's going on, Socialites? Welcome back to episode 49, GPS Tracking, your podcast for everything you need to know about the global Pokemon Society and all things Pokemon news in general. It's your commissioner and once again, the reigning champion, Boston Braviaries Ryan, joined this week by returning coach. We haven't seen him. Well, he's popped on a couple podcasts, but not since season 2 has he competed. Josh, head coach, the Waco Scizors. How's it going, Josh?
It's going great. And I get to play with Scizor this season, so I'm pretty excited.
Well, spoiler alert. Jeez, we're going to go over all the teams.
Hey, that's my guy. I mean, Gengar, Scizor, those are two of my favorites of all time, so I like it.
And you didn't pick either of them, so.
No, this is singles.
Yeah.
I didn't want those schools.
And we're
technically
here.
I wouldn't have been able to take Scizor. It was gone, wouldn't it?
It was gone. The first one right after you.
Mm-hmm.
We're also joined once again by Anthony, head coach, the Pittsburgh Poltergeist, rocking the logo in the background. What's going on, Anthony?
Yeah.
How's it going, Ryan?
Don't flash your gang signs at me. Jeez.
Listen. Yes.
I saw that.
I am clearly the epitome of gang culture. Have you not seen this appear?
Honestly, if we were all in a lineup right now, based on, listen, I'm not stereotyping, but based on what we're all wearing, you'd probably be the one that'd be like, yeah, he's probably in a gang right now.
I mean, be gay to crime. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go. And for the first time on the podcast, very special guest taking part in his first draft league with the Society, Trevor of Couch Pilot Gaming. What's going on, Trevor? Happy to have you on.
Happy to be here, Ryan. Thanks for inviting me. I'm excited. I got to jump straight to the majors. I'm ready to, disrupt some people.
Yeah. Well, I think based on, because you do a lot of competitive leagues over on your channel, different stuff. I've seen you do Little Cup, Metronome Battle. So you do a lot of fun, different things. So I think, based on that, you deserve to at least throw some punches in the majors.
I like it.
Prove what's going on. Before we really hop into this, though, Trevor, do you want to just take a couple minutes and introduce yourself to the Society and just talk about what your channel kind of does?
Yeah, so my name's Trevor. It's Couch Pilot Games is us on YouTube. I'm sure Ryan will link the description below. in the description below, please. Yep. Like, subscribe. You know how you do that. But I've been doing Pokemon content for about 2 years now, and I randomly met Ryan through helping somebody that was in the minors that I followed on YouTube because he did pack openings, and then he joined this league, and I was like, Chris, let me help you with some of your strats. I've been doing, Pokemon breeding, building, and then I finally had my own leagues and started my own channel. Why don't I help you? And then started talking with Ryan, and then he was like, hey, I'll keep you as an option if people leave and we have open spots. And I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah,
some spots opened up.
Yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
They won't be missed.
No.
But yeah, awesome to have you, Trevor. Yeah, everybody definitely check out, as he said, link will be down below to his channel. So take a quick seconds, pause this one, do a little control click on that link here, and go subscribe to him, and then come back and finish the podcast here before you dive.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of us that post to it. It's me and 6 other guys. We just share the channel as one, so we're just Couch Pilot Games all together.
I mean, that's kind of like what we do. Everyone just sends me the recordings, and I
gave everybody my login.
Do stuff.
They just uploaded.
Oh, see, I would never do that.
That was your first mistake.
Yeah, I'm a little trusting. I'm an Oklahoma boy. It's all right.
All right, guys. So we're gonna get a long one here. So let's jump right into it. Ranking all these teams, and I think we're gonna start in reverse alphabetical order, just because that goes to our first overall pick, the Worcester Delibirds. So let's take a look at their team here. So we got Mewtwo, Zapdos, Tentacruel, Entei, Flygon, Stakataka, Sandslash, Tauros, Hitmontop, and Gigalith. So, Josh, what do you think of this team?
Well, I have to say I'm jealous because I personally was going to pick Entei that round, and then boom, it was gone. But I think it looks great. I mean, it's been a while since, like I said, it's been a while since I've played Pokemon. So I guess I'm super up on the meta, I guess, for singles. But it seems like a pretty solid team in my view. But that's really all I'd say about it.
Yeah, but before we keep talking about it too, I want to say that Mewtwo was the first overall pick of the entire draft. Trevor, what do you think when Mewtwo went off the board #1?
I honestly thought he'd taken DD #2 for just massive amounts of expanding forces, and then when he did not take a Psychic Surge Pokemon, I was a little surprised. But Zapdos was there. I don't blame the man for taking Zapdos too. It's just, he didn't take Indeedee later, and I almost expected him to.
I don't think anyone took either of the Indeedee. Spoiler alert before we keep going. So he could pick that up when free agency becomes available if he wants to. And it definitely helps prevents like Sucker Punch and everything too, which is strong attack against Psychic type. So yeah. Anthony, any thoughts you got on the Delibirds?
I think it's a solid team. I mean, he's got Toxic Spike's ability with Zapdos Tentacruel. He's got, Rock Setters. He's got a spinner
bunch
with
of Rock Setters, Spikes, regular Spikes.
Yeah, he's got a spinner with Hitmontop, also an Intimidator. He's got some good walls, and in the form of, again, Tentacruel, Stack Attack, Gigalith. Mewtwo I thought was a very interesting first choice, I'll be honest. I feel like they're, a lot better Pokemon in the, the X tier that we have. But Zapdos is one of the best Pokemon for that tier, I thought, in S. So I think that was an extremely solid pickup. So overall, I agree. I say this team looks pretty good.
Yeah, I would also agree.
Yeah, I think Mewtwo is a solid pick. With the restriction that X Pokemon have to hold a Pokeball, X Pokemon that can learn the moves Trick or Switcheroo, kind of get that extra thing where they can kind of, if they know something's going to switch out and not threaten them, they can just click that move and then maybe get a useful item. So we'll have to see how often that comes into play, which Mewtwo can. And I mean, it just has solid coverage and everything. For those who want to see, I went through every team and ranked them on a 1 to 9 sort of scale based on different things. And I gave Worcester a 6, which is actually a pretty high out of the 9. The things I said they were missing were they're missing a grass type to form a water, fire, grass core. But I think Zapdos actually kind of like fills that role. Like, I mean, grass isn't a great type overall. So like the electric.
Hey, whoa. That is my favorite type. I will not hear that in this house.
Look at this. I have the forest behind me. I'm with you. I always pick the grass.
You want me to go
into
the next room where my wife has the freaking Amazon jungle over there? All right.
Yes, I do.
I live around it, but you know what I mean. Like grass types, they can resist ground. That's like their main thing. So Zapdos is immune to it. Zapdos hits the water types hard that grass types would also threaten. So I feel like it kind of like helps to fill that role. He doesn't have a fairy type, so he doesn't check off the steel fairy dragon core. And the last thing he doesn't have is momentum. He doesn't have like a lot of U-turn, volt switch. He has a couple, but not enough that I think he can kind of like keep momentum going besides like hard switching out. So that's where I kind of took points off from him.
Fair enough.
Someone's a stickler, but works.
All right. So next, let's move on to the Waco Scizors, Josh's team. So Josh, why don't you introduce the Scizors here?
All right, I had to unmute myself there. Couldn't find the mouse. So I went with Kyurem Black, Dracozolt, Scizor, Heracross, Sharpedo, Sylveon, Rapidash, Rhydon, Magmortar, and Delmise. And actually, I was the last person to go in the draft. So while everyone else, or mostly everybody else, picked their X tier Pokemon first, I figured, I have slim pickings. I'll just wait till the end, which is what I did. I picked Kyurem Black last, absolutely last. And I went with my mascot, Scizor, first, and Dracozolt was my second pick. I kind of went into this knowing that I would try to build a Steel Fairy Dragon core, which I did here with, Scizor, Dracozolt, and Sylveon.
Sylveon, Rapidash,
Yeah, there's a couple of options there. And then later I tried to build a grass, water, fire core as well. And you know, I suppose I kind of have a dark psychic fighting. If
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean, yeah,
But-
it's there, right?
Yeah,
You can
it's
say it's
there.
there.
But yeah, that was my thought. I know that I kind of picked Rhydon late. It's like the only somewhat sort of bulky Pokemon, but not
Yeah,
really.
with an Eviolite on
Yeah,
the on the
I mean, you stole
defensive
lightning
side.
rod from somebody else that was building a water team, so we thank you for that.
Mhm.
yeah. Well, that was my whole goal, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
The fire, I have to say that my fire type and my grass type I really struggled with because like I said with the Delibirds, like I had thought maybe I'd pick Entei that round and Entei was picked, so I was just like, who do I fill for fire type
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, there's
So
not a lot of low tier fire types.
yeah, I mean I actually towards the end of the draft I did actually consider taking Cinderace instead of Kieran Black. But I decided to go with Kieran Black anyway. And then for grass type, I nearly went with Executor,
Recycle.
but I decided I'd try out Delmise and see how it goes. So yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of thoughts. I don't have a ton of thoughts here. I know I stole Sylveon from
You
from
did.
Trevor,
I
but,
wanted that. She's my girl. That hyper voice hits too hard. in
Um,
singles.
Yeah, real
And she's
Yeah, that
powerful.
goes.
especially defensive. Just she's literally a special defensive tank that hits very hard. She's scary.
I'm ready to put her to use.
Yeah, you got to have a good steel mon to take care of her. Let's be honest.
But yeah, that's kind of. I mean, like I said, during the draft, it was kind of tough going last sometimes after 30 picks, and I'm sure Juan with Wister would agree, being number one too, like in the same situation. It is a little tough to go after 30 picks. Like you're like, okay, I'm gonna pick this. Nope, picked. I'm gonna go pick this. Nope, picked. But it's fine. It's fine. And you know, it's my first season back in a while, and I haven't played since the original Galar Pokedex. So there's a lot of new Pokemon that I just wasn't really sure about. So we'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Yeah. Anthony, did you have any thoughts on Josh's team?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely I see some weaknesses. I hate to be honest, definitely see some weaknesses. I like the cores you were kind of building around. You definitely have some hard hitters, and some good, revenge killers, possible sweepers. Scizor's obviously great. Sylveon's great. Sharpedo, if you can get some of those speed boosts up, can really do some work.
Scary.
Can definitely do some work. So, I mean, I definitely see the sweeping potential. And you already kind of said it, you really got like Rhydon for walling, and that's about it. So, definitely something maybe to think about early, and, like the free agent is maybe, or trading, see if someone's willing to kind of part with a wall.
Yeah. What do you think, Trevor? Any quick thoughts on the Scizors?
I mean, I agree with Anthony. I think he has a very hard hitting core, but they're also really squishy.
Yeah.
Like you have too much squish, you need some defense. That'd be the only thing I'd say. Other than that, your cores are great.
Like you said,
have a lot of
Sylveon
immunities
can
and good
take some
switch-ins,
things
but-
with Wish. So you could in the right matchup use Sylveon almost as like a Wish passer.
Yeah, Cleric
Cleric.
Ending, yeah.
Cleric Sylveon, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, Sylveon's definitely really good, and then Rhydon, as long as you're not getting hit with like a physical grass or water attack, will be able to tank a lot of physical hits.
'Cause you can Eviolite Rhydon still, though.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And as a wise sage once said, thick thighs save lives. Just saying,
Yeah, baby.
Think
Let
thick
'em know.
boys.
Look at him.
Mm.
Edie. But yeah, I already kind of talked to Josh, but that was kind of like my thought as well. Just it's gonna be, he does get like some U-turn and Volt Switch Pokemon. Or actually no, Dracozolt
Flip
doesn't
turn.
learn Volt Switch.
Flip turn on Sharpedo as well.
Yeah. So I mean he has a couple ways to like kind of get momentum and switch in and out. But yeah, for hazards, I mean it's kind of just Rhydon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Doing rocks, and I think the only way you have to remove, well, Scizor can learn Defog, You can breed Scizor to get Defog, and then Delmise can do Rabbit Spin. So you have a couple ways to remove. I would probably like one more scenario because I
you
don't
almost
want to
don't want to
rely
put
on
Defog
Scizor.
on Scizor.
Yeah,
like,
I don't want
Defog
to rely on
Scizor is like,
Scizor to have to do that. Yeah, I want Bullet Punch, U-Turn, Swords Dance, and maybe
Yeah, expert
Like
dust
superpower
Caesar
or
is scary.
something, yeah.
in
Superpower, yeah.
singles.
yeah, or Dual Wing Beat. I put Dual Wing Beat
Dual
on the
wing beat for
Scizor
sure,
too.
because you can break sashes.
Yeah, so those are all good options. But yeah, that would just be my my thought. But overall, like this
Core's
team's going to
great.
hit hard, and it has a lot of good coverage.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, moving on, we got the Vero Beach Volcaronas. So Vero has Dialga, Melmetal, Celesteela, Metagross. Can I stop right here?
Yeah, like this is
Speaking
just
of
bring
thick
fire.
thighs,
Bring
speaking
fire.
of thick thighs, though,
Bring
Jesus.
fire and
Bring
ground
fire.
and
Yeah.
fighting, and you're going to hit at least 3 out of 4 of these multiple times. So Vero last season was our electric gym trainer. We have another electric gym trainer here this season, but we'll get to them later. Now he's the steel type gym trainer. So that's interesting. We got Tornadus, Diancie, Regirock, Mesprit, Silvally, and Sandaconda. So Trevor, you seem pretty vocal about this team. What are your thoughts on this? On Vero's?
In my opinion, I mean, his mascot is a fire Pokemon, and he didn't get anything to take the fire damage that this team could ultimately take. I get that he has Diancie here, and he's got Sandaconda, but the steal of the draft, in my opinion, was Silvally. You want to know why? Because it can be any type to be brought against anyone until the playoffs.
I will say though, Vero has picked Silvally
I was like, he picked Silvally last time.
He does?
mascot
Okay.
Pokemon.
Well, hey,
every time.
I think that's a steal in the C tier because being able to change it into any type until the playoffs is very good. I mean, look at the bulk though. The bulk is here.
Yeah.
As long as you don't bring fire
1,
around.
2, 3, 4, 5.
This is a chunky
Diancie,
team.
No,
very
it's such
defensive.
bulk.
Yeah.
But if he anticipates a fire shot, he doesn't even need like a switch out. Regirock's going to not take that, and Diancie's going to take absolutely nothing from fire. Now, ground
is
going to hit this team very hard, except for Tornadus.
Yeah, Tornadus and Celesteela.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because she's flying. That's right.
Yeah. But still, it'll definitely be, kind of like one of those things that we'll have to see. He never really dropped the electric types last season. He did squeak into the playoffs, but it didn't turn out for him well. So we'll have to see if maybe he uses some of these really good steel types, such as Metagross, maybe even Diancie or Regirock as trade fodder, or if he switches them around. Because unfortunately, other than trading, you're stuck with your X tier.
Mm-hmm.
So Dialga's in the pool, and they, it's going to be hard to like move that guy around. Is just all I'm saying. With if he wants to move steel types. Anthony, any quick thoughts on the Vero Beach?
Not to spoil my upcoming team, but I'm going to eat this team if we play. I think we're playing this team.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm going to eat this team alive. I think, Josh said pretty, excuse me, not Josh, Trevor said it pretty well. This team has got some pretty glaring weaknesses, all these steel types, don't get me wrong. Like looking at each individual steel type, they're all phenomenal Pokemon. Like Melmetal, we saw the power of him last season. Celesteela is an insanely good Pokemon. Metagross has been dominant since that Pokemon came out. You know what I mean? That Pokemon has always done really well. So, and Dialga's Dialga. So I think they're all, if you look at them individually,
individually
strong Pokemon. Right. Like, and I get where his mindset was at, but like looking at the whole team, you're like, oh boy, like these are, we need to do some trading and kind of shore up some of these weaknesses, because like I said, a dedicated team that like can cover this, like again, spoiler, my team will eat this alive. Yeah,
for sure. So, I mean, I don't want to keep echoing the same thing because we're all saying the same stuff. So on my out of 9 list, I gave him a 4. Some people you know, based on what we're saying, some people might think that's very high, but he definitely has the offensive potential. Like, you're not going to switch in on him really and take any, like, you're not going to take a double iron bash from Melmetal very well. I don't care if you resist it or not. He definitely has the defense. Like, he has the bulk. He can switch
bulk's
into
there.
things if he resists it or even neutral damage. He has a lot of ways to set up different hazards, especially rocks. I mean, actually, mainly just rocks, but he's got a lot of ways to set up rocks, so he could throw it on a couple different Pokemon. He doesn't have any of the cores that I really want. Well, he's got Steel Fairy Dragon, so he does have that. He doesn't have any way to remove hazards. And he doesn't have, other than, like I said, hard switching out and using his natural bulk, he doesn't have a lot of ways to build momentum. It's kind of like just Tornadus and Savali can U-turn and Mesprit, but I don't think you're going to be bringing too many of those guys every round.
The one thing I will
Don't lose
comment
out on
though
power
about
a
like
lot.
a lack of a spinner or like a remover of hazards is this is a team that really doesn't seem to care
Yeah,
much about
I mean,
hazards
yeah,
in general.
But I
You
mean,
literally can
Toxic
switch
Spike.
in and take nothing
Yeah.
from rocks. Like, what does it
Yeah.
matter?
And Spikes is the only thing. Like even Toxic Spikes, most
Yeah.
of his teams
Yeah, yeah,
steal.
he's
So
immune.
like,
Yeah,
but
they don't take it.
But again, when we're talking about that, a fire or ground type will force him to be switching out.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, you know, the chip damage will matter, even if it is only like
This
1/16th.
much.
You know,
But if you can read it, because you know he's going to switch, you hit him hard, you know?
yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So moving on to the Tokyo Togekiss, we got Rayquaza, Excadrill, Tapu Bulu. Right off of here, I want to get rid of Tapu Bulu because I want my Excadrill to hit with Earthquake super hard, and I don't want grassy terrain up.
See, if
Mhm.
I was this person, I'd get rid of Excadrill because Skeptile is unburdened. An unburdened Skeptile with grassy seed on grassy terrain
All right, I
hits
can
like
see
a
that.
truck. Hits like a truck.
So maybe Excadrill is a really strong trade fodder for somebody.
Especially if T-Tar didn't get picked up either, but I think they're in the same
Yeah, they're in the
category,
same.
aren't they?
Yeah,
So it doesn't matter.
yeah. You basically need like Gigalith or Sandaconda.
Hey,
Here with that.
what up, Gigalith?
Blastoise, Arcanine, Klefki, Hitmonlee, Aerodactyl, as Trevor said, Sceptile, and Altaria. So for Tokyo, I gave them a very high grade, actually.
Mhm.
I gave them a 7 out of 9. I think they need some bulk on their team.
That was literally my first thought. Is like
Yeah.
the only like Altaria, I guess, and like Blastoise is bulky, but like
Yeah.
Blastoise is not my favorite bulky type.
No, he
No.
doesn't have like the HP to really
Bulk,
put it in, especially when people can, other than against Excadrill, you can just volt switch around on this team relatively well. So you don't want that.
Unburdened Hitmonlee is nothing to wave a
Yeah.
finger at either, though. I mean, but you can't put grassy seed on both of them.
Yeah.
Is the problem. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's true too. But overall, like very good hazard setters. You got rocks from Excadrill, you got spikes from Klefki. You got a couple rock setters actually.
or even screens with Klefki.
Yeah.
Yep, screens. Well, probably like what I'd run spike, screen, thunder wave, right?
Yep.
Just
Slow
go with
people
that.
down 'cause he's
You got
prankster.
2 spinners with Excadrill and Blastoise. I think Altaria gets defog. I could be wrong. I did have my list up of what Pokemon learn defog, but yeah, and yeah, that's true, Trevor. I didn't see the Sceptile Bulu combo, so maybe you drop Excadrill. I think you gotta drop one of them, right?
Yeah, you
So
gotta drop one of them, or
Yeah.
have Excadrill out of the game before you set your grassy terrain.
yeah, but that's hard to like.
That's hard to do.
prepare
Yeah.
for, yeah,
That's
because you kind of
something,
want
yeah.
you kind of want to do like, okay, well, you could do Excadrill as a lead, do like Focus Sash Excadrill with rocks, and
Sword
so
dance.
Excadrill could be more your lead, and then
Yeah.
Bulu Sceptile is kind of like your back room
Mhm.
sweeper. Get Sceptile in against a Pokemon it can set up a Swords Dance against, and then you're kind of rocking from there. What do you think, Josh?
I don't have anything to add. It sounds like 7 out of 9 is the appropriate thing here. I think that clearly Tokyo has options for how they want to assemble their team.
Mhm.
And so I guess every game will be a surprise unless they trade away Excadrill or Tapu Bulu. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. I guess what I just said, you don't need to get rid of Excadrill if he's like a dedicated lead.
Because he's still got speed.
Yeah.
He's very fast.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty decent. Yeah, with a sash, you can at least guarantee rocks up. And
this team is very speedy. A lot of speed here.
Yeah, Rayquaza,
definitely
Arcanine, Aerodactyl, Sceptile. If you can get the Umber Hitmonlee, Prankster with Klefki. Yeah, I really like this team overall. Maybe just like a couple changes, like I said, just to get a little bit more bulk on there. But overall, I think it's a pretty complete team. All right, next up we got the Pittsburgh Poltegeist. Anthony, why don't you show us the Poltegeist here?
Well, if you can't tell, there's a theme to my team, ladies and gentlemen, watching the podcast. No. So obviously, this is my Sun team. First pick Groudon right off the bat. Took up Mandibuzz, as a defogger. Obviously a lot of rock weakness comes with your typical Sun team. So Mandibuzz is from the spinning effect of defog. Venusaur, your primary sweeper. Charizard, secondary kind of sweeper as well, hitting hard with solar power. Seismitoad, to help shore up some of the weaknesses. A lot of different sweeping options. That's one thing I was talking about before I even got on the podcast. I definitely got very, very into getting a lot of different types of sweepers, and a lot of them do the same thing. So Vileplume, I just picked because it's my favorite Pokemon of all time. I didn't honestly, I'm going to trade him first because he doesn't really do much on this team. But, wanted to try something out with Heliolisk, with his solar power. Whimsicott was my boy last season, but again, is a great chlorophyll sweeper if need be. Ninetales as a second Sunsetter, because I was a little worried about just having Groudon since it has to hold the Pokeball. Just in case, wanted to have Ninetales as a backup for the Sun plan. But yeah, pretty straightforward Sun team on my end. Shiftry. If I feel like Venusaur as a special attacker isn't going to cut it, he's the physical attacker version.
Yeah, very good. Trevor, what do you think about Pittsburgh?
The Weather Ball move on most of these mons is pretty scary, honestly. Like Choice Scarf Ninetales with Weather Ball is a very scary Pokemon.
Yeah, that's a strong.
It's a very strong Pokemon,
move.
Unless you can, read it and stop it with your own weather. I mean, that's really what it is. You're bringing your own weather to this if you have any. If not, you better find one because the sun is going to burn you.
And Anthony, just so you know, I believe Shiftry as well can learn defog too, so you don't have to just for another removal option.
And Mandibuzz is a tank. It's a tank in singles, has been and always will be. So
heavy duty boots is a
Roost
thing.
Boots, foul
Boot
play.
them up.
For sure.
Rootin' and booting.
So Anthony, I gave you 6 out of 9, but it's a high 6.
I'll take it.
So you don't have any Steel Fairy or Dragons, so that kind of lost you quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I do have a fairy, Whimsicott.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I guess it's a fairy. I don't know.
It hits real hard with a Moonblast after a growth, let me assure you.
There's just so many sash mons here. It's going to be playing who is hiding the sash every time they play you. That's the way I feel about it, at least. Because you can put it on a bunch of different Pokemon here.
Definitely.
And then you brought it up, Anthony, but I think you have a lot of Pokemon that do the same thing. Like you said, you brought Ninetales as a backup Groudon, but I don't feel like you really need it. And then Vileplume is just, a shadow of Venusaur. So I feel like
which, like I said, I knew that going in. I looked at the rest of the B tier, and as anyone who watched the draft knows, the B tier was slim pickings towards the end. So I was just I don't see there's too much. Like the only thing I was there considering was like Durant, which might be what I end up going for free agent week. But Vileplume, like I said, I picked it because it's my favorite. I had to give it to it. And
the only other thing that I'm seeing now is you do have I mean, not that I expect you to bring like all of them. You might bring like one, maybe two, but just a lot of grass types as well. And since you're setting up the sun, any like errant fire attack that somebody might have is gonna be doing, that much more damage
Oh,
with the
absolutely.
sun
Yeah.
boosting it.
Which
So,
is why the Seismitoad's on the team, just
yeah,
to help
Seismitoad.
with some
I
of
mean,
that.
your Charizard and Ninetales will resist fire attacks too. I mean, they still won't want to take them repeatedly, but
Oh, absolutely not. But
but
This team, besides Shiftry, all takes pretty big psychic damage too. Besides like Mandibuzz and Shiftry, just because
yeah,
they're,
but that's a
immune.
couple dark types you
Yeah,
can.
you can just switch in.
And like Anthony said, I don't think he'll be bringing Vileplume.
No,
Really,
no,
anything.
honestly, I'm
Yeah.
probably getting Wonder Woman week 1, but I had to go out with my favorite, at least for a few weeks.
yeah, I feel it.
All right, Josh, did you have any comments on Pittsburgh before we move on?
Yeah, I gotta ask, where's Poltegeist?
It got
Ooh.
picked instead of my other B pick, so
So we could have seen
Sadness.
Poltegeist in the Vileplume slot, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
yeah, that was the plan. But then someone
that
picked it,
would
and
have
I
been
was like,
nice.
It would have been
I don't
nice.
think
We'd have had a
anyone
lot of
was playing
immunities.
Poltegeist.
You would have had a
Yeah.
lot of immunities if you added a ghost type.
Yeah, it's always
I
nice to have a
didn't think
ghost
anyone
type
was
as a
taking
spin blocker
Oh
because
yeah.
defog is so hard to get this generation
Mhm.
that if somebody wants to get hazards away, they usually have to use a spinner. And if you can predict that, you can really get some good momentum going. All right. Next up, I kind of alluded to this team already, but Lieutenant Surge is here. So we got Evital, Tapu Koko, Weavile, Registeel, Decidueye, Toxtricity, Flareon, Lantern, Aurorus, and Arctozolt. So, Josh, what are your thoughts on PSG here?
Yeah, this is definitely a Lieutenant Search here. Are we gonna have to search through trash cans in order to access a battle with
there's
Right?
nothing but trash here. There's nothing but trash here.
there are quite a few electric types here. What there's one, two, is Tapu
There's
Koko
4.
electric? 4, okay, yeah.
Yep.
I'm not really, not really sure how to evaluate this. A lot of electric types. What type Pokemon is Aurorus?
It's rock ice. So you got 1,
Rock
2,
ice.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that are going to die to earthquake,
Yeah.
and only
Yeah,
one
that's
thing
a
that
lot.
won't be hit by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, big earthquake weakness is the first thing I see looking at this team.
Mhm.
So what we know is that if Tokyo and PSG are fighting off against each other, they're going to leave Excadrill on the other side.
Yeah, and just start clicking. Just choice bandit. Don't
Oh,
even
yeah.
worry about it.
Don't worry
Just
about
kill Evital and then get Excadrill in there. Yeah, I mean Decidueye will resist earthquakes. I mean Weavile is not gonna take an earthquake, so Registeel against an Excadrill, it probably wouldn't take. I mean, I think it would survive an earthquake, but I mean it's gonna be like in the red. Just because of its decent defenses, but it's not gonna take more than 1.
Yeah, I would say getting 1 or 2 more flying types, this team would be
Yeah.
lethal.
Or even, I mean, if he wants to keep the electric theme, just get a Rotom on here.
That's true. Rotom.
Yeah, I mean, if he's really looking for more electric types, but I would probably. I'm curious about the Lantern. Lantern can have some utility because it does get like extra immunities with its abilities, but I'm not seeing it. Trevor, what do you see something with the Lantern that I'm missing?
The only thing I mean, Lantern's a lightning rod, which you don't need. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, it's
really don't
Volt-
need it.
Yeah, you can
unless
get
you
Volt
set the
Absorb
lightning,
and
unless you set the
Water Absorb,
terrain
yeah.
and then switched out, Yveltal comes in, and then you want to get Lantern set up because you know a thunder's coming or
yeah.
something like that. But I don't really see much use for Lantern besides that it doesn't take that much earthquake damage because it is water type. But I'm pretty
Water
sure it's
doesn't
neutral.
resist though.
But it's neutral, right?
No, yeah, but it's still electric. It's water.
Yeah, it's
and
just not
electric,
super
yeah.
effective. I
No,
mean,
it will be.
Oh, it will be.
Water
Okay.
doesn't resist ground.
Oh, okay. Well,
No, it
then
doesn't.
Yeah,
That's tough.
grass resists ground.
Yeah,
I also
So,
don't
yeah.
like that. Like the main bulk is Registeel, and like that's it for like your wall. Like, like I'm not crazy
Yeah,
about
I mean,
Registeel.
Evoltol can be pretty bulky, especially with Oblivion Ring. It's going to keep healing up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there is that. I gave Paris a 4. I could actually maybe give them. Well, what for rock setters? They only got Registeel and Aurorus, right? None of these other Pokemon can learn spikes or anything.
I don't think so.
I don't know if Toxtricity can learn toxic spikes.
Aurorus is the only hazard setter on this team.
Yeah, and Registeel. Registeel
Registeel.
can get rocks, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
but
that.
I would like some variety. I think. Yeah, like you said, Anthony, Registeel is really your only dedicated bulk.
I mean Aurorus, but
Yeah, but I mean
She's not that
steel.
bulky. She's
Yeah.
got 4
Yeah,
times
I was gonna
weakness
say,
twice.
Ice
I
and
know.
rock
Well,
are
yeah,
the two
it's-
worst
it's-
defensive typings in the game, and
Yeah.
you
yeah,
put them
that's
together
the problem. It's a bulky. It's a bulky Pokemon
with
the
a
worst
lot of super
typing.
effectives.
Literally
Yeah.
the worst typing.
Especially
don't-
with all the mock punches and bullet punches out there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Fighting or steel.
Mm.
I don't see any way to remove hazards either. I think Decidueye can learn defog, and that's it. Right? There's no
Weeball might
spinner
be able
here.
to spin, but I don't think so.
I don't think you can.
So upon looking at it, just really quick, Toxtricity cannot get toxic spikes.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
all you got is a couple of rock setters, and like you said, Aurorus is probably gonna get hit with a bullet punch or something and die before it can do that. So
Then
yeah,
again, this team doesn't really worry about rocks, though. I don't think. Besides Yveltal.
yeah, and Weavile, but I mean Weavile's just gonna switch in once, right?
Yeah.
I mean technically Aurorus and Arctozolt will also get hit for 25%. Or well, Aurorus for
I would say
8,
Aurorus
1/8,
is.
but
Aurorus
yeah,
won't take any
I would say
damage
Aurorus
from
is
rocks.
neutral. Yeah.
yeah, it's neutral. It'll be
Or
1/8,
normal.
but the Arctozolt will take a quarter. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Trevor, introduce us to
Oh.
the Oklahoma Thunderous.
All right. So this team is all about perfect switch ins. Let's be honest. Mimikyu and Ice Q, if you expect a physical attack, being able to take no damage at all is just really nice. I did set up my core really early, and I got the best setter in all of singles Pokemon because you don't fuckle with the shuckle.
Oh my god.
So I might try to bring a meme Shuckle team against somebody at least once and just try to win with Shuckle with like a power swap or something. We don't know. We'll see how it goes. But being able to
I
set
mean, you
and
got some good trick room stuff,
Yeah.
so it could happen.
it could happen, especially with Bronzong. You don't know if I'm bringing Levitate or Heat Proof, whichever's against your team. It helps with switch ins. I got my Ghost type, which perfect switch ins as well. I mean, Driftblim is unburdened, which helps with Rillaboom's Grassy Surge. I didn't build a like fighting core, but I didn't think I needed it. You know, I did the 2 main ones. Well, I guess. Yeah. Como.
Yeah, you're only missing the dark.
Yeah, which Psychic could potentially hurt this team, but you know, with
Yeah.
Bronzong
You got
being able
Bronzong.
to
Yeah.
take
So you have 2 ghosts. Yeah.
everything, yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'd be fine.
Yeah, and you got Celebi too, would resist Psychic if you want.
I mean, honestly, Ho-Oh and Suicune are such bulky legendaries too.
Mhm.
So,
Oh,
and
it's
Rillaboom
a
hits
chunk
like
boy.
a truck. We all know he does. Priority is key, and I have 4 Mons with priority. So,
Yeah,
I mean, that's
Anthony,
all I have to
what
say.
do you think of the Thunderous?
Well, I have to get it out right away. So there were 2 times in the entire draft where I was about to pick a Pokemon, and I was like, "Fuck! It just got taken." I didn't realize it until this moment. Both times were you son of a bitch.
Oh no, I'm
So
sorry.
it was Mimikyu and Shuckle. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take Mimikyu next round," and you're like, "Mimikyu." I was like, "Crap!" And then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take Shuckle," and I heard Shuckle. I was like, "Crap!"
I took Mimikyu second pick overall. Like I literally was like, yeah, let me take that thing. It's just too good in singles.
I was considering it very early, so I do love
Yeah.
Mimikyu. So yeah, no, I think this is a great team. I definitely like a lot of what it's got going on here. You know, definitely. The only fear I have about like Ho-Oh is if you're not able to get the rocks. You know, if someone gets rocks up and you don't like kind of get them out of the way, I'm always,
Yeah.
you know, especially with the fact that we can't wear boots on
Yeah.
our.
Yeah.
But with
you know,
Regenerator, you
legendaries.
can swap in 3 times.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
with,
but
with
still
the
pretty.
Regenerator. Yeah.
Still pretty. Like, you know, that was my only fear. But other than that, I think this team's great. Honestly, it looks great.
What is the removal on this team for hazards? Is there any?
Ho-Oh's defog,
Yeah.
Driftblim's defog.
Well, if you're
I
defogging with Ho-Oh, it's a little late.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. But Driftblim can do it just fine.
Yeah,
so.
true. Driftblim, you can put the boots on Driftblim. But if you
Yeah.
want the Unburden for, I mean, I guess it depends how heavy you think the hazards are gonna be.
This honestly, looking at the team, the hazards don't really. I feel like wouldn't affect me as much. I'm not much of a let's remove
Just
hazards
Ho-Oh.
type of person.
Yeah,
Ho-Oh is the
just
only one, but at the same time, like Ryan said, Regenerator is a very good ability. So
Yeah,
It's
it'll
extremely
let
good
you take
ability.
it at least a couple times.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and you got a setter and Bronzong, Shuckle. You know,
Yep.
strong setters.
Yeah, Como can also set it. That's how I
Mhm.
used it in my last singles.
Como is going to be my MVP. Calling it now.
Josh, do you have any thoughts on the Oklahoma Thunderous?
Not particularly. I mean, I'd ask about Thunderous, you know, but it's okay. I really like the switch-in strategy, and I wouldn't have thought of Mimikyu and Ice-Q together, like and the bulk that you have. Yeah, I'm the one with the least strategic discussion here of the draft. But I think it's my favorite strategy I've seen so far. No offense to Anthony and the Sun team.
It's okay. I take no offense.
I think this will be a fun team to play against, and I don't really look forward to playing you if we're scheduled to play.
I
So,
think we do twice. Aren't we the same division?
You only play your same division once, and no, you guys
So we
are
only play
in
once.
separate ones. I put
Oh,
all the
okay.
new or returning teams each in a different
Okay,
one.
okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, my thoughts. I think this top 6 is very, very good. So I definitely think like you said, you might bring Shuckle to a couple games. I mean, Driftblim will be fine, but I don't see like which of these I would want to drop consistently for Driftblim.
Nope. Unless the team just hits one of those
Yeah.
stupid hard. So
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely think this is very good. So yeah, I gave you a 7 out of 9 as well. So I definitely thought that this team was definitely one of the top ones, just because especially this kind of 6 can definitely be very
Tailwind
scary.
Suicune is going to be
Yeah.
deadly.
Yeah, if it's a matchup where you need that extra speed, that's definitely an option where you can just get like 3 solid turns out of doing extra stuff.
Yep.
All right, moving on to one of the favorite teams of the society, the mighty Psyducks, going with Lugia, Urshifu, Rabbit Strike, Salamence, Umbreon, Noivern, Mudsdale, Jinx, Druddigan, Togedemaru, and Inteleon. Anthony, what are your thoughts on the Psyducks?
I mean, I'm immediately seeing 3 dragons. So I mean, dragon
dragons.
type can be good, but you know, fairy looks like a problem here. You know what I mean?
Fairy, ice looks like a problem.
Yeah, Togedemaru ain't scaring out the fairy types. I hate to tell you. You
Nope,
know, so that's my biggest kind of immediate notice. Yeah, I'm noticing a lot of kind of very similar weaknesses here. You know what I mean? 3 flying types. You know, 3 dragon types. You know, just yeah, I have some concerns about covering weaknesses. I also there is bulk with Umbreon, Mudsdale, Lugia. I think they've got some good wall options, some good stall, and that idea. But honestly, like just looking at it, this team seems kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I think there'll definitely need to be some changes to be done. Like you said, probably drop a couple of the dragon types. I don't think you need Noivern when you have Salamence.
Yeah, I think they're very similar, and Salamence is just better.
Yeah. Josh, what do you think of the Psyducks here? Anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, I mean, with my very limited knowledge, I don't really see I don't really see a big strategy here. Like, there's not, as far as I can tell, there's no core really. There doesn't seem to be like a Pokemon to build around. So I guess not much different than what's been said so far. I'm not sure how to rate Togedemaru there. Does that seem, with the other?
I was surprised Togedemaru doesn't learn spikes, which I was very surprised. Yeah.
He can only spiky shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could have sworn, maybe it wasn't Sun and Moon he randomly had it, but I could have sworn that he could. But I was looking it up and he cannot. So you really only have Mudsdale. And I think Druddigan can learn. Yeah, Stealth Rocks. Yeah, but I mean,
honestly, I don't know if I want to bring Druddigan to any. Like, Druddigan is a very subpar Pokemon.
And with all the dragons that he took, why another dragon there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because this one's only 2 times weak to ice.
There's
4 times. There you go.
There it is.
This is the water Urshifu too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's scary though.
Yeah, I mean it'll still be really good. Choice Scarf or Choice Band on it, it's still gonna hit hard.
Yeah. With Lugia and Urshifu, this team, I mean, he just needs to build around those two. Because in my opinion, Lugia should have been the first Mon taken in the draft. That's just my opinion.
I mean, it was the second.
Yeah.
So it wasn't far behind.
That's true.
The next one that you could take. Yeah, so Trevor, you've already said a couple things, but any other thoughts that you have on this team?
He needs to get some fairy, better steel mon than Togedemaru, if possible, for switch-ins for fairy, or even a poison mon in general. So
yeah,
because if
he doesn't have any way to toxic.
Yeah.
With this team.
I think the big thing, if there's anything to be said, is 2 words: type diversity is the problem.
Yeah, type diversity.
Yeah.
Yep.
We need more type diversity.
Yeah,
here.
we have a steel gym leader, electric gym leader, and a dragon gym leader right now. So
I mean, dragons hit hard, but
yeah,
they're
petition to call the mighty
Psyduck
Claire from now on. From now on, always Claire.
This is my worst ranking so far. Although there are some who are going to compete with it. I gave him a 2.
Oh.
Poor Psyducks. I think his defense is solid with Lugia, Mudsdale, and Umbreon. I think that is a solid defensive core. I mean,
he's not a good Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't really consider Togedemaru defensive though.
No,
I don't consider it a good Pokemon outside of doubles either. So
sturdy, fake out, Zing Zap. That's basically it, right? Spiky Shield.
It's super cute.
It is cute.
It is cute. And he does have good momentum. He has a lot of U-turn Pokemon. So, I mean, those were the only 2 I kind of gave him. Like you said, he doesn't have the cores. He doesn't really have ways to get hazards. I think Noivern is his only way to get rid of hazards.
Yep, defog.
Defog.
Which is just not a great defogger.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay depending what you come into. You throw boots on it, it comes in, you defog, and then you U-turn out.
Because it's fast enough to definitely do that.
Yeah, I'll get it off, that's for sure. But
that thing, this team has, like, besides Inteleon and Noivern, they're very middle tier for speed too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
And I only see 1 priority mon in Urshifu. Like nobody else learns any other priority besides Aqua Jet.
Inteleon can get a couple priority moves. But yeah,
can.
Aqua Jet from Urshifu. I think it gets, I mean, not that it's great because you're hitting with physical, but I think it gets Aqua Jet and it definitely gets Sucker Punch. But I mean,
yeah,
then,
but why? This thing is
yeah.
a special attacker. That's just not.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you would only do it if you're like, okay,
Revenge kills for one.
I'm fourth
1
move
HP.
syndrome. I don't know what to put as it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna put a priority move just so I can
Mhm.
guarantee to revenge kill something.
Revenge kill. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We got the Lavender Town Gengars.
Team is immediately trashed because Alex made it. No, I'm kidding.
Shots fired. I love it.
Alex is one of my best friends. So.
Oh, I love it.
Man, you're spoiling my ranking here, Anthony. But he has Kyogre, Toxapex, Thundurus, Porygon 2, Togekiss, Virizion, Poliwrath, Jolteon, Articuno, and Politoed. Trevor, you're nodding your head there. What do you think of the Gengars?
I think the team's good, except for, I mean, I see a very big grass and or electric weakness. Like
Definitely electric.
Definitely electric. I mean, grass hits these decent, but electric for sure.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you got Volt Switch Umbreon, so you got to make sure that you kind of take that out of the way before you can really start Volt spamming and all that. But yeah, he's not going to appreciate Pokemon that can Volt Switch around.
No, especially with like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4,
6,
5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7. 7 electric weakness. Pokemon.
Well, Thundurus is neutral.
Oh, because he's thunder and flying. That's right.
Yeah, electric
So
flying.
6.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is, what the problem was, and this was apparent if anyone just watched the draft video or was present in the draft, is, we had two kind of water, rain teams trying to go at it. Alex was trying to go rain, and then obviously, spoilers for the future, the Denver Ninetales was going rain pretty hard too.
Yeah.
So
and she got like all the good
ones,
sweepers.
honestly. Yeah, like I don't know why he waited on getting some of the sweepers, and I was just like, dude, like, why are you waiting on Kingdra? Why are you waiting on
no Swift swimmers here either.
Yeah.
That's also
Poliwrath.
Poliwrath is
Poliwrath can Swift swim?
Yep.
It does Swift swim. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm actually the one that told him to pick. I was like, dude, pick Poliwrath. So
You need
Poliwrath.
I was talking to him during it. I was like,
honestly,
Amistar wouldn't be a bad pickup later.
I was telling him Amistar. Thank you for saying that.
Or Kabutops, because he doesn't have any way
you.
to remove hazards really, other than I think Articuno might get defog. Togekiss doesn't this generation. No. I know that.
But I mean, even though he was trying to go for a rain initially, I mean, there are still some very good Mon here, you know what I mean? Like Toxapex is a really amazing Pokemon. Kyogre's great, can hit really hard with a water spout. Porygon 2, great defensive wall. Togekiss, you can do a lot of different things. You can go Super Luck, you can go, Serene Grace, Paraflinch. There's definitely some good Pokemon here. It just feels a little disjointed. That's kind of like the biggest thing I would say.
Because honestly, like Poliwrath, I figured you'd run it as a water absorb vital throw. So you could just like band him or choice scarf him and throw stuff out over and over and over again. Spam it. He's one of the only vital throwers, so you can throw out and get the next Mon coming.
Yeah, but the only hazard you have here is toxic spikes.
Yeah.
Toxic.
No hazard.
You don't have
setters.
any rock setter at all on here, which hurts a lot.
Yep.
Josh, what do you think?
Nothing to add. I guess we'll have to see it in comparison with the other rain team.
Yeah. I do think also, I mean, this is kind of the same criticism, like very minor criticism, but I had for your team, Anthony, the Pittsburgh Poltergeist, but I don't see the point of picking up Politoed, especially in singles.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think we both had the same idea. You know what I mean? We were a little worried about only having 5 turns of weather. So that was just kind of really the thought process, I think, for both of us. I think we both had the idea that, if that doesn't work out, we can get rid of those Pokemon eventually. You know what I mean? It was just more like, how much is it going to hurt us to only have 5 compared to 8 turns of weather?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think you can, like, the stats
Yeah,
of
and
the
you can
legendary
switch it
Pokemon, you
around,
can
yeah.
train it enough that, okay,
yeah.
I'm just gonna like make Kyogre like bulkier, you know,
Bulk
Yeah,
to
a
keep
growth
set
go
on
in
bulky
and out.
Kyogre.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely a possibility. So I think it was just more like and again, like C tier, there's not a ton of like amazing stuff. I think, each of us using one pick on that, I don't think it's the end of the world.
yeah,
So
no, yeah, and you like you said, you can always be like, okay, I don't end up needing this, I can drop it later.
yeah, I think that was more just like this is a extra precaution kind of thing.
Yeah, so out of 9, I gave the Gengars 2.
Like if they picked up a lightning rod mon, it'd be pretty
Well,
scary.
they have bolt absorb Jolteon, but
Yeah, but it's too squishy.
Lightning
like
rod,
a
yeah.
bulky lightning rod would be
Yeah.
really good for this
Yeah.
team.
yeah, I definitely want a ground type or a hazard setter. No,
Yeah.
a better hazard setter.
All right, moving on to the LA Kinglers. They actually missed the first couple rounds of the draft, so I kind of feel bad actually that we picked their X tier for them. But you don't make it to the draft.
Zekrom's not a terrible Pokemon.
No, it's not terrible, but I do feel like since you can't drop it, that I feel like even worse, like kind of forcing on somebody. But it again.
I think there are worse X tiers. Imagine if
Yeah.
you got like Dracovish or something like.
Oh yeah.
Putting that in the X tier felt terrible. You know what I mean? Oh, that's got to hold a Pokeball. Like fuck.
Yeah. It could do something. All right, so Zekrom, Hippowdon, Aegislash, Snorlax, Dragalge, Volcanion, Leafeon, Crustle, Vikavolt, and Wishy-Washy. Josh, what are your thoughts on the Kinglers?
Well, I'm not really sure what strategy we're going for here. Did you only pick Zekrom for?
No, Zekrom, Hippowdon, and Aegislash. So basically, his top 3 were all random.
So basically, had to build a team around 7 other Pokemon. After dropping in kind of late. I'm not really sure what. I'm not really sure what's going on here. But like I said before, probably the least knowledgeable person here. So I'm not really sure what Wishy-Washy is up to there right there at the end.
Honestly, Josh, I
think
I would say that about a lot of Pokemon. Is like, what are they doing here? Like Leafeon, I love Leafeon. Chlorophyll, again, it could have been on my Sun team, but like, what the fuck is it doing here? You know what I mean? Like, Wishy-Washy again. Vikavolt, maybe if you're doing like a Trick Room, but like, there's no Trick Room.
Yeah, like I know we had questions
There's
about
no
like your
center.
Ninetales or Gengar's, Politoed, and the C tier, but the whole C tier here just feels like, well, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, there are decent Pokemon in some of the C tiers. You know what I mean? I got Heliolisk. I think it's great in the Sun team. You know what I mean? Like, I think there are other C tier Pokemon where like people have made some good C tier choices. This is like literally it looks like someone picked 4 random C tier Pokemon.
Yeah, I think with a Trick Room setter, this team becomes a threat in a weird way.
Yeah,
because it does have the cores. It does have cores, but if you could get a Trick Room setter in here, Powdon's a tank that's gonna go well. Aegislash is good. Snorlax is stupid good. Vikavolt needs it.
Zekrom hits like a truck too.
Yeah, Zekrom hits like a truck. Dragalge is slower as well. Like honestly, if this person got a Trick Room setter, this is a very good Trick Room team.
Yeah, I think I forget what tier it's in, but I mean Hatterene is still out there. As like a bulkier Trick Room setter. We had a couple of the bulkiest ones kind of already picked with Porygon 2, and we're going to talk about another bulky kind of pure Trick Room setter that got picked later on. But yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree that a Trick Room would definitely help him. I actually gave LA a pretty high score.
I mean, it has a lot
relatively.
Of bulk.
Yeah,
defense wins championships, so
yeah, I gave him a 6. I think he definitely has as you just said, Trevor, the defense, and I think obviously these Pokemon hit hard. It's like a bulky offense team, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has good hazards. He has a lot of rocks. Again, if Vikavolt can come out, it can get like a sticky web up, which might help with his speed situation. He's got Toxic Spikes with Dragalge. Like I said, Rocks with Crustle or Hippowdon.
Yeah,
Whichever one he
Crustal's
wants
just
to do.
a bulkier, well, not bulkier, a harder hitting Shuckle. That's literally
Yeah.
all Crustal is. So
Yeah, he only picked Crustle because I was hating on Crustle during the draft, so he
enough.
might drop it. He doesn't have much removal, if any, I don't think, for hazards.
No, I mean he has prevents the spins with Aegislash.
Yeah, but if you get not that the rocks really hurt his team though. I mean,
just
Vikavolt and Volcanion.
Vikavolt, excuse me, Vikavolt.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess he's not like hurt too much by them, but again, when his team is kind of like on the bulkier side, any residual damage he's not going to want to take.
Yeah, I definitely think he should prioritize, the Trick Room. Definitely.
Yeah, if you could get a Trick Room setter and put boots on Vikavolt, switch that thing in, even if there's rocks up, and just hit massive amounts of damage. Like that thing hits so hard.
Yeah, the special attack is very good.
Yeah.
So as everybody kind of echoed, find yourself a good Trick Room setter. I'm sure there's some in the C tier that you could pick up and drop, like the Leafeon or the Crustle or something. Yeah.
Plus, not all is lost in S or A tier. They can always go and change it later in free agency.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I like Hippowdon and Aegislash.
I love Hippowdon.
I think those are good. Yeah,
Hippowdon's an amazing Pokemon.
Setting up the Sandstorm, Slack Off.
Sandstorm and Rocks. You can
Whirlwind
or War things out. You can do
lead.
so much situational
one of the best
damage.
Leads.
I would agree.
Ground type is just a great defensive typing too. All right, going on to El Paso Electros. So we got Eternatus, Alakazam, Nidoqueen, Steelix, Cresselia, Womp Womp, Poltegeist, Alolan Raichu. So now I'm realizing there's 3 psychic types here. I forgot Raichu was psychic type for when I first.
Caller Sabrina.
Hitmonchan, Toxicroak, and Lycanroc Midday. So Anthony, what do we think of the Electros?
I mean, I love Eternatus. I think was a really good pickup. That Pokemon's really good. Definitely, again, we got some good rock setters here, like in Rock Steelix and Nidoqueen can all set the rocks. Doesn't look like anything to kind of get rid of, hazards, which I think might be a bit of a problem.
Can spin, but I
think
that's
really?
it.
Oh yeah, well, because Hitmontop can. Raichu seemed like an interesting pickup here.
Yeah, with no electric terrain.
Yeah, that just seemed like a weird one. But other than that, I do like some of it. I do think there's some good bulk. I think there's some good, Alakazam can sweep. Poltegeist does hit hard. It's very frail. That's from my experience with doubles. Poltegeist has some glaring weaknesses.
Sucker Punch is going to kill it, but with weak armor and Shell Smash, if you can get one off, you're going to be
you have some sweeping potential. Yeah, you have some sweeping potential, but I mean, I like some of it, but honestly, this team doesn't excite me or anything make you feel really good about this team.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, Trevor?
Honestly, like I said earlier, a psychic terrain. I mean, Alakazam is just Mewtwo light, but the fact that you can put Life Orb on this guy where you can't with Mewtwo, and he's Magic Guard, so he doesn't take any Life Orb damage. So you don't know if he actually is holding Life Orb or if he's holding Sash until you hit him. Alakazam,
unless you do some calcs.
Yeah, I mean, but Alakazam's a very scary Pokemon, especially if you could set up Psychic Terrain for him and he can't get Sucker Punched. Dude could literally beat an entire team with his speed.
Absolutely. Alakazam's a really good sweeper.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's another team that could look into getting
Indeedee.
Indeedee male. I
Or
think
female.
is Indeedee male in the A or B tier? I forget off the top of my
B
head.
and female C.
Yeah. So I mean I would pick those up.
Yeah.
At that rank.
And then
Josh.
Body Press Steelix is a force you reckon with in singles.
Chunk Boy.
Yeah, for
chunky
sure.
boy.
Yeah, as long as you're not getting hit with a special attack, Steelix can do some stuff. What do you think, Josh? Any other thoughts on the Electros?
There's a lot of poison going on in this team. But you mentioned all the psychic types. If you're going to rely really heavily on Alakazam and others, what's going to cover their weaknesses?
Yeah, a lot of dark and ghost weaknesses because of all the psychic types and Poltegeist, and a lot of ground weaknesses with Eternus, Nidoqueen, Steelix, Raichu, Toxicroak.
Yeah, ground is
Lycanroc.
huge.
Yeah, you basically have only Cresselia that'll be immune to it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Ground's
Levitate.
big, and these psychic and other types are just not bulky enough to live it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a good Earthquake Pokemon is gonna rip through this. So, yeah, I think again, we've seen a few of these teams now that just didn't pick up the type varieties. So definitely be looking for that. And yeah, another team, as Trevor brought up, that could really appreciate Psychic Terrain. So my personal grade for the Electros, again, out of 9, was this is my third team that I've given a 2.
Hmm.
2, so 2, 2, 2, 2. So
How do you think you would up that score if they picked up Ndidi or another psychic terrain?
I think it
Type
would,
diversity, I think, is huge.
yeah.
Yeah.
Indeedy would help, but I would still want to drop a lot of things. Like, I don't know if Indeedy is enough to save this team with how it's constructed right now. Because I wouldn't want to get rid of Poltegeist, so I'd probably be getting rid of Cresselia, which only exemplifies your ground weakness.
Nah, get rid of Poltegeist so I can pick it up.
You
And
could
you
go
only
Indeedee
get
female,
one
though.
drop from each tier. So I mean,
Indeedee
if you're
females
dropping
in C
Indeedee,
though.
yeah,
I
but
know it's not
I
as good
want
as the
the
male.
yeah, I do want the offensive
Yeah, the male's
pressure
better.
too. Yeah,
But I mean, Indeedee female could at least be a special wall and set your terrain for you.
Yeah, but you have
that's true.
Cresselia.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Yeah, because I want to get rid of
Terrain would be better.
more psychic types.
Now, Cresselia might be able to learn psychic terrain as a move. So he might
Yeah, that's true.
That.
And it would be bulky enough.
Yeah.
And she might be bulky enough. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, she's definitely bulky enough. She's a bulky girl. She has recover.
It's true. She does have recover.
All right. Moving on, we got the Driftvale City Dragapults. Cole here has Magearna, Dragapult, Nidoking, Raikou, Milotic, Regidrago, Alolan Persian, Uxie, Polosand, and Surfetched. Josh, what do we think of the Dragapults here?
You're gonna have to come back to me for my analysis.
Okay, I'll do mine. I'll do mine real quick then, because
Yeah,
usually I wait till the end.
Mhm.
I gave them a 6, a solid 6. I think that they have very good offense, very good bulk. They got multiple ways to set up rocks. Not so much in the way of removal, like you'd have to be putting defog on Surfetched, which doesn't seem great to
That
me.
seems like an odd choice.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying like they don't really have any way to remove rocks, but they're also not hurt by rocks too much or hazards. Toxic spikes could be a little annoying to them, but they do have Nidoking. Yeah, they got a lot of good momentum, a lot of ways to U-turn and volt switch around. So I really like this team. What did you think, Anthony?
See, I'm not as impressed with this team. I'll be honest.
Really?
Like looking at it, yeah, I think I definitely see some good parts. You know what I mean? Like again, like you said, sweepers, like in the form of like Dragapult, Magearna,
Nidoking.
Yeah, I mean definitely sweepers. I mean the bulk, Milotic, and like what
Magearna's
like
typing is just.
I mean Magearna's
great
type.
bulk.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Magearna is insanely good. You know what I mean? I'm all about Magearna on this team. You know, like I honestly the first column impresses me on this team, like very much. You know, those 3 Pokemon I think were really good picks. As we go on, I just like there's more of it where I'm like I don't know if I really like a ton of this. You know, the rest of what I'm seeing. Maybe again, that's my opinion. Ground I'm noticing is a pretty big theme of weakness here. Magirna, Nidoking, loses to that.
but I mean, it's
Raikou.
only 3, and you do have
Pile of sand and
Yeah. I'm not super impressed with Palossand as a Pokemon in general.
Fair enough.
Uxie too. I don't know. I would maybe I wouldn't say, maybe reviewing it I would put like a little higher than I originally thought, but I don't know if I would say like if we're gonna use your tiering, I would say around a 5 is where my mind would be.
Well, I gave it a 6, so I mean that's not.
Yeah, like I said, a little lower. You know what I mean? I'm not as high on it.
What do you think, Trevor? Are you more where I'm at or more where Anthony's at?
Yeah, I'm a little leaning towards more where you're at, maybe a little bit higher, just because I think a lot of these Mons are really good in singles. These are not doubles Pokemon. These are
no,
Pokemon,
God no.
For sure.
God no.
Well,
Dragapult, to be fair, is good in both. But
yeah, I mean, obviously Dragapult's good in any format. They made that thing
is good.
beast. But I mean, I think the core with Magerna, Dragapult, Nidoking, Raikou, and Melodic, you don't see much. I feel like they could bring those 5 almost every time and do pretty good work.
Yeah.
But again, 3 of those ones you named are
got the speed.
Weaknesses.
I mean, and I would even say you have really good setup people here too, because Melodic setting up on you is really scary. So.
Yeah.
And a choice band Surfetch, I don't want to mess with that either. So.
Yeah, I can agree with you with that, Anthony, that 3 out of his top 5 Pokemon are all going to get hit super effective by ground. So maybe that's something he's got to look for is a solid flying type.
Or just air balloon.
Or I was going to say, or give Raikou the air balloon.
Just give one of them air balloon.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be
probably
giving Raikou to it,
because
because you're going to want Life Orb on the Nidoking.
Yeah, with Sheer Force, Life Orb, and then Magearna has to hold the Pokeball, so it's literally Raikou.
All right, so Josh, you made us wait all this time. I'm dying with anticipation for your analysis here.
My only analysis is I think Trevor's right. Those first 5 Pokemon gives you pretty good coverage, and so I could totally see those being brought every single time.
Yeah.
To 2 matches. I really like the Steel Fairy typing on Magearna. I'm really excited to see
things. Yeah.
To see where that goes. And so I guess ground is is somewhat as a weakness, right? But it's not like the glaring weakness we saw with the Psychic team before.
Dragapult can learn Surf or Hydro Pump. Milotic obviously waters Scald from Raikou now. So you do have ways that you can you're gonna outspeed and be able to hit these ground types.
Yeah. Being able to Scald with Raikou with an air balloon on, that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a bad team.
No, and I didn't want it to sound like I think this is a bad.
Yeah, he said 5.
He said 5.
I think it's a little lower than you know what I mean, other teams that we've put at 6, but you know what I mean. I don't think it's bad. I think it's
again, I'm ranking out of 9 things, so some of the 9 things are more important than others. But I can agree with that.
Maybe we'll be completely thrown off, and they'll bring that Psychic Dark Fighting Core to that.
Yeah, right here, that C core right here.
Hell yeah!
I
am scared of Persian Alola. No,
Dragapult is so good in singles because he can be a screen setter. He can be a physical attacker, a special attacker, and he's got the speed tier to do all of it.
And mixed attacker. He's a scary mixed attacker.
Yeah, he can mix it as well. It's not. You can make a bulky Dragapult mixed attacker and just let's do it.
I agree on that.
All right, next up we got the Denver Ninetales. They got Calyrex Ice Rider, Pelipper, Amoonguss, Gastrodon, Mienshao, Rotom-Mow, Kingdra, Ludicolo, Aggron, and Goodra. So Josh, we waited for you the last time. You got to give us some analysis here.
All right, so that Pelipper, first pick of Denver, I think it was the first pick. Strong choice. So I think this is the rain team to watch out for.
The better rain team.
Mhm.
Yeah. The Pelipper, Gastrodon, Kingdra, Ludicolo.
Gudra.
I think Kingdra, yeah.
Well, Gudra too is good in the rain.
I mean, Sap Sipper on Gudra, like that's
Yeah.
perfect.
I think Denver is my first opponent in the schedule. So any tips that you can give me, about how to beat this team would be great.
Yeah. What do you think, Trevor?
Handle the
honestly, I'm thinking, just cancel the weather. I don't know if you have a weather setter or anything like that, or even somebody that could just learn Rain Dance or Sunny Day.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, but if you could get somebody that learned Sunny Day against this team isn't hitting as hard as you want it to, obviously. But Scizor is great in the rain. So Scizor is going to hit a lot of these mons pretty decent, in my opinion. I think Gudra Sap Sipper is very good here. And I think this team only is missing a Trick Room setter to really balance it out, to have all the speed in the world and no speed in the world. So that's just my opinion on this team.
I mean, Calyrex can set up its own Trick Room.
If you
bring it in and threaten something out, like
I forgot about
a lot of Calyrex run Trick Room as their fourth move.
That's true.
Because if you know that you're going to get a switch out.
So you don't need it. I mean, you have your Trick Room setter, so
you don't need it because you already have it.
And you're so bulky, like he's going to be able to
the
take a
defense and
special
attack is
effective
out
hit.
the roof.
Yeah. So, Anthony, what do you think of the Ninetales?
Yeah, I think this team is scary. Being brutally honest.
Well, especially against yours, right, Anthony?
Well, I mean, it's the battle of the weather.
Yeah, it'll be a weather battle, but
it'll absolutely be a weather battle.
It hurts that even in the sun, you're still getting hit for neutral with the rain, and in the rain, you're hitting even worse with the fire. So.
Yes, but my grass types are pretty strong. You know what I mean? Against some of
but the only grass type you're hitting for super effective is Gastrodon.
All
the rest are all neutral, and then you got Gudra, and then you got Calyrex, who's just like,
I definitely think this is one of the teams that scares me the most in the league. I think there's not a lot of weaknesses I see here that you know what I mean? Like, I think Calyrex Ice is an insanely good Pokemon. I think.
And it got picked up super late too. Super late. She picked up like second to last round or something.
I mean, she's protecting Calyrex and Amoonguss and even Rotom-O in a way with her rain. I just think it's great. It's great.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, Gudra can, like what you bring an electric type and then they're like, oh, haha, I got Rotom that resists times 4 and I got Gastrodon, which is immune. And then you're like, oh, I'll bring grass. I'm like, haha, I got Gudra that sips it up, or a Amoonguss that'll just wall you the whole time too.
Yep.
And then Calyrex will threaten you out and set up Trick Room and kill 2 of your Pokemon before it's over,
Yeah. Like she has speed on both ends, and I think it's beautiful. So.
Yeah. I gave her it's a 6, but it's a very high 6.
I would have said 7 on your scale.
Yeah, so again, it's based on the different things. Yeah, so she doesn't have removal. I think defog from Pelipper is the only thing that she has, because there's no spinners here, and she doesn't have the complete cores. Like, she's missing a fairy type, and she's missing. I mean, she doesn't need a fire type, so I guess I shouldn't frown on her for not having a fire type. So we can give her a 7.
How dare she put a fire type?
Honestly, a fairy and steel. Which, I mean, Aggron is steel, so fairy is all you really need for that core to be.
Aggron's also like, I'm not super impressed with Aggron on this team, but
Aggron seemed like a weird choice, honestly. But then,
you
don't really have any other majors set up without Aggron.
Yeah, I mean, you got Gastrodon. Gastrodon Stealth Rocks, Clear Smog, Recover Earth Power.
That's true.
Pretty good. Scald. If you don't want to run Clear Smog, it depends if you think your opponent's going to try and set up in front of you or not.
What are you feeling? What are you feeling on that?
Amoonguss is the only mon here that, in my opinion, doesn't fix. Amoonguss is such a better doubles mon. Yeah, it has Spore, but you can only put one Pokemon to sleep, and I have to just trade it out.
I think this is more of its like
coverage.
Toxic Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bulky
and it has
Pokemon.
regenerator, so you can bring it in and out.
I love the U-turn and volt switch. I mean, just being able to like
Flip turn
switch
on
and,
Kingdra,
yeah,
which
being
you
able
can
to
actually
move around,
use with
move around a
since you don't
lot
have to
on
run
this team
protect.
is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, you got 2 U-turners,
Mine,
Mienshao and
Mienshao and
Pelipper, and you got
Volt switch on
Kingdra.
Rotom.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
Kingdra flip turn and volt switch for Rotom. So yeah, momentum. I definitely give them that.
Momentum's
So yeah,
good.
definitely one of the top teams. I agree with everybody. Katie always drafts a top team, and then I have to smack her down. So.
Yikes.
Yikes.
All right, next up we got
Maybe
the Charms.
pick better phrasing there.
Yeah.
No
Smack her
illusions of
down.
spousal abuse.
Listen, I beat my wife and I
Please.
record it, okay?
Oh my god.
And I post it on YouTube and it never gets flagged.
Don't
People
demonetize
hit the
us.
like
Oh, wait.
button when I beat
All right, I'm
my
going
wife.
to flag right now. I'm flagging.
Yeah.
I mean in Pokemon, guys. Geez, don't cancel
Yeah.
me.
Don't cancel me.
All right. So Charm City Charizards, we got Kyurem White, Gengar, Galarian Slowbro, Alolan Marowak, Drapion, Lucario, Machamp, Rapidash, Claydol, and Dusclops. Okay, my quick analysis just to get off. This is like the 5th team that's gonna die to Earthquake on our
Can we get
list.
a dies to earthquake stamp? Like,
yeah,
boom.
dies to Earthquake. Anthony, what do you think of the Charizards?
Yeah, immediately dies to earthquake is like the biggest thing that comes to my
Yeah.
mind. Like, holy moly! Like, wow, that's a lot of weakness.
The only thing you really got going for you against Earthquake is Dusclops, switch in Will-O-Wisp, and then kill that Earthquake. That's really all you got.
Good luck.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but that's literally all I see to not get hit hard with Earthquake. So
I mean, Claydol is levitate, but like,
that's true.
Again, Claydol. Like,
you're not gonna bring Dusclops and Claydol, so
No.
And you're not bringing Claydol to fight the Earthquaker. Like, you ain't gonna scare it out.
I will say we brought up Trick Room a couple times for certain teams where it can be pretty good. I like Trick Room on this team. They got Dusclops, yeah, with Marowak, Slowbro can do pretty well. Even Machamp will benefit from it.
Honestly,
I do think
Sash
some
Gengar and setting Trick Room on your last like turn before you get out, it's not terrible as long as you're not gonna get hit. But you know,
yeah, they got ways to set up a bunch of different hazards. You got double spikes from Drapion. You got a bunch of rock setters. You got 2 ghost types, so you can prevent the spins, so you can keep those hazards up against most teams.
No spinning here, though. I see.
Well, Claydol.
Claydol.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he doesn't have much for removal.
Yeah.
Just Claydol.
Again, not a ton of his Pokemon are
no.
Again,
I mean,
like
I don't
weak to
expect
rocks
him to
or
bring
anything.
Rapidash, so
you know what I mean. But also,
Marowak,
like,
really, and
his
Kyurem.
There are some bulkier ones on here, but some of them are pretty frail too. You know what I mean? Like,
Drapion has good defensive typing, so it can use
it does.
bulk
It's
well.
only one weakness.
And then of course Dusclops. So he does have some bulk, but yeah, he has to do something about that huge ground weakness here for sure. Josh, any thoughts on Charm City? Like, he needs a water type. Like, how can you not have a water type?
All I remember is in the draft when he picked Dusclops and he said, "This isn't doubles."
Yeah.
So
I mean, it can still do things, right? But
I used Dusclops for a long time in past gens and singles. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no. If your opponent can't kill it and you can just get off a couple pain splits to stay healthy and wear him down with Will-O-Wisp and
Will-O-Wisp
Nightshade
used to be my Nightshade. Excuse me, Nightshade. Yeah,
Nightshade.
Yeah, the old standard list used to be Pain Split, Nightshade, Will-O-Wisp, and like a 4th move of some kind.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's good utility.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Zach, looking to getting like a strong flying or definitely a strong like water type too. Like, you just need like.
Yeah, a flying type sets this team up a little more because you can switch in. So
yeah. And unfortunately I had to give him a 2 just because, again, so many things are just going to get died by an Excadrill coming in if he can't do like a bulky setup with Dusclops, or if he wants to suicide Gengar to set up Trick Room.
Mm-hmm.
All right, going on to your defending champ. We got Giratina, Ferrothorn, Rotom Wash, Galarian Weezing, Gardevoir, Torkoal, Ninjask, Thievul, Zoroark, and Articuno. Actually, I gotta reintroduce these guys by their real names. Sorry. So we got Revenant, Pathfinder, Crypto, Caustic, Horizon, Bangalore, Octane, Loba, Mirage, and Valkyrie. So
I don't play Apex, so I'm like,
Yeah.
sure, sweetheart, whatever you say.
Yeah, I play Apex. My wife loves Apex. She's playing
Yeah.
the new season right now. So.
Oh yeah, I'm downloading right now. Trevor, if you're interested, Josh and I might hop on for a couple arenas matches before we crash.
I don't play it much anymore, but
You
I
get
always
Off my podcast.
Oh, I
I
know all the
literally
people.
just admitted I don't play it.
Anthony, shut your beautiful mouth.
It's almost worse to have played it once and not play it anymore.
Yeah,
than never
yeah,
have played
yeah,
it at all.
Once you start playing it, you're hooked. At least I can be like, okay, you've never done crack cocaine. I can see why you wouldn't start.
I always pick it back up with the new season. I'm sure I will, just not
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah, try out arenas, bro. I
Yeah.
can't wait to try it out. Okay, so my ranking, I mean, I guess I'm a little biased, but I gave myself a 7. The only,
little
and it's a low
biased.
7. It's a low
Yes.
7. I actually didn't give
Guys.
myself a, wait, what?
I said a little biased.
I mean, I'm going just by a list. So listen, I got plenty of ways to set up hazards.
Mhm.
I got
You do.
rocks and spikes. I got rocks. I got toxic spikes. I got plenty of ways to remove hazards. Defog, rapid spin. My thing is I'm a little lacking on pure offense,
Yeah.
but I got plenty of bulk. Giratina, Ferrothorn, Rotom, Torkoal, Weezing. I got a lot of bulk. I got a water fire grass core. I got a steel fairy dragon core. Another fairy there. I got a way to at least disrupt some weather. I mean, it won't disrupt your weather, Anthony, but if I'm going up against a
Yeah.
rain team, I can weaken their water moves. And I mean, Ferrothorn will do great in the rain anyway.
Not gonna lie, I was pissed you took Torkoal too. So
I got Volt Switch, U-turn, 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 U-turn. So I got ways to kind of like momentum around.
And Zoroark can be any mon.
Yeah, it can trick anything.
Yeah, trick anything.
Yeah, bamboozled.
Mhm.
So, you know,
Bamboozled
that's my
again.
justification of the team. Again, my biggest glaring weakness is I don't have like a breaker, like
Yeah.
someone who can just break. But I mean, I could
I
do
mean,
things. I could do
Gardevoir
like,
can hit pretty hard. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
and I
Honestly,
could
you-
nasty plot up with some Pokemon or do something
Or you
like,
specs a Gardevoir. I think that hits pretty
Yeah.
damn hard.
yeah.
If you could get Simple Beam on any of these, and then Simple Beam something, switch in.
So I gotta
Gardevoir.
tell my opponent to simple beam me.
No, because that'd be stupid. Because Simple Beam sets
You
this
can
team up to
trace
be
it with Gardevoir.
trace Simple Beam with Gardevoir, and then
Oh.
get one Calm Mind, which is 2 special
Yeah.
attack and boosts, because it makes it a simple mon. It's just if you had a Simple Beam
This is
setter,
next level.
yeah. If you
Teaming.
had a Simple Beam setter, this is next level.
That might be a
Oh,
little
Lord.
too next level. That might be 3
I think
levels.
we've gone too deep. We've
Yeah.
gone.
Listen, that's how good my team is, though. You guys are stretching that deep to find a way to improve it.
No,
So,
because I wanted to draft Gardevoir because I have a Simple Beam. I was gonna get a Simple Beam setter, but you drafted her before me, so I was like, well, maybe not.
Oh Lord.
All right. So, Josh, what do you think of the Boston Braviaries?
I know I did the video with you on the Apex, who their Pokemon would be, and this pretty much goes along with that. Minus Valkyrie, since Valkyrie wasn't
Yeah,
announced yet. But
that's probably my least favorite
um,
Pokemon on this team right now.
well, you really
Articuno.
during the draft, you really struggled with like what Pokemon to pick for Valkyrie.
Yeah. Well, I wrote a
but-
list of Pokemon that like match things, but then when you get into the nitty gritty and people are picking stuff and
Yeah,
I like the pressure.
like
I didn't want people waiting like minutes while I was like, okay, how can I justify these?
Who's Gibraltar?
I don't think
On
he
this
picked
team,
one.
nobody. In
Yeah,
our
'cause you
video,
didn't
we
get
said
one.
Blastoise was Gibraltar.
Blastoise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like the picking on a theme like that, a potential to just be like really bad. But like you pointed out, all the ways, all the options you have here with your cores, your hazard setters, hazard removers, and then all the U-turn at the end there. So I think this is a pretty good selection.
Yeah.
Even Evil.
I definitely think there's some Pokemon on here I really like. You know, Giratina, first column, all great Pokemon, all phenomenal Pokemon. I love Gardevoir, Weezing, great too. Torkoal, I like you said, it's like a little bit of a disruption if you go against.
Yeah, he was kind of a panic pick. I might drop him if I was gonna drop something from the B tier right now. It'd probably be Torkoal.
Because that was the only thing looking at this team, I'm like, what the fuck is Torkoal doing?
Yeah, I kind of panicked with him because Josh said I couldn't pick Snorlax. So
if you were to drop Torkoal, Lanoon in the B tier is a simple beam setter.
Look at that. The man is going deep for you.
Yeah, but then I'm picking Lanoon. And who can I justify Lanoon as?
I mean, she's Loba.
What? I already got Loba.
Well, you get two of them. She's thick enough for two. Be all right.
Thinking about Lanoon, I'm thinking of Ash. We'll just go with Ash.
What? Ash isn't a legend yet. She's just a hologram face.
Still counts.
That.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna smile and wave. I don't. Yeah, sure. I don't know her.
All right. So, Trevor, any last analysis on this team?
The fact that I feel like nobody took Giratina until you did. Like you were the last X tier pick, weren't you?
Like the second to last or something. But I did wait till like kind of.
I think Giratina in singles is a top like 3 legendary. Like it really is.
I agree. Giratina is good.
Yeah, I wanted to focus on bulk with my X tier.
Because if it holds a Pokeball, I thought the same thing. Because Ho-Oh, besides rocks, the special defense is just through the roof.
Yeah. And then having ways to do like, Ho is probably a little bit better, especially if you're not going against rocks. It's going to be better for you because you're going to be able to shrug off more damage. But Giratina will definitely be able to do a lot. And having a ghost and dragon type, you're going to resist or be immune to a lot of things too.
A lot of things, yeah. I just think the immunities, the switch-in capability with Giratina, if you build in bulky, is just really good. That's why I think it's a top 3. So
yeah, again, I'm gonna have to look for probably like one way to break through things.
Because Gardevoir is really your hardest hitter, and that's about it.
Yeah. Again, I can like nasty plot up with like a Rotom or a Zoroark and kind of break through some things.
Rotom just allows a lot
of. And maybe I'll bright powder and set up hail with Articuno, and then no one will be able to hit me. So
you can also trick with Rotom for a wall, you know what I mean? Like cripple a wall with like tricking a Scarf onto it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Choice Scarf Rotom's pretty self-explanatory there. All right, and the last team, we got the Black City Zekrom here, Calyrex Shadow Rider, Kyurem, Gyarados, Crobat, Darmanitan, Salazzle, Xatu, Armaldo, Drampa, and Mr. Rhyme. What do you think, Anthony?
So he used to be the Nido Kings, right?
Yeah.
Dude has a boner for aggressive teams.
Like, yes, I was gonna say it's the same old song and dance here. Just like, all offense.
Nothing but offense here on this team, is what I'm seeing. Like what Gyarados can be built bulkier, a little bulkier, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to build him to be aggressive, like super all out attacker. But like other than that, like holy shit, like this is an aggressive team.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Pokemon weak to Stealth Rock.
Yeah. But I think a Tailwind Crobat really helps this team just.
Does he really need the speed anymore, though?
I mean, no, but there are Mons out there that are fast, still.
I think against like us weather teams, it might be relevant.
A weather team, the Tailwind's really going to help out.
That's where it's relevant.
Crobat's your only like I just pointed out, all the Pokemon that are weak to rocks. I mean, you got Xatu, so you can switch him in, but he did that the
Magic
last
bounce,
time we
yeah.
did signals, and I just punished him every time he did that and just like killed it.
Which I think Xatu is a sleeper pick because of Magic Bounce.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's what
Magic
I mean.
bounce
Like,
out too.
you know, he's gonna do it, right? You lead a rocker, he leads something else.
He's gonna
You know
switch.
he's gonna he's gonna do that. So you just hit it with a rock or dark or electric move, and then what's it doing? And Crobat's his only defogger, so you're probably gonna throw the boots on Crobat.
The speed here is scary, though. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, he's got 2 U-turners.
Mhm.
Gyarados unfortunately doesn't get flip turn, which was a shame, but it probably would have been way too good.
Thank God.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, please don't give it flip
Thank
turn.
God.
Calyrex is super strong, but it dies to any Sucker Punch. Like, I
Yep.
think even Inteleon Sucker Punch would kill it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Yeah,
other than
just-
that, like,
yeah, it's just
Yeah, just-
all offense again. Like, he always starts off like this. He needs more bulk somewhere, and definitely get rid of all this Stealth Rock weakness, because again, if people just predict your Xatu coming in, you're not going to be able to make use of that U-turn and
Mhm.
take advantage of that speed when all your Pokemon will be in revenge kill range of,
mhm.
any priority move. Josh,
Yeah,
do you-
I also, I mean, I'm looking at this here too, like a fairy type might be beneficial too, you know, and I'm not noticing that. And, a steel type would be lovely, frankly,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, hugely, this team wants a steel type.
Like if this team had Magearna, it's higher. Obviously, it doesn't. But if this team had Magearna, it's a lot higher.
I think
Oh,
Magearna
yeah.
would make a lot of teams better. You know, to
Well,
be
that's
fair.
true.
That Pokemon's
She's
great.
just so good.
Yeah, Soul Heart's a hell of a drug.
What do you think, Josh, of the Zekrom?
There's a lot of dragon, a lot of flying.
Yeah, we
this is gonna
what,
be maybe
2
like
dragon?
a glass cannon team.
Yeah.
I know from my own experience with
Flying.
Salazzle, it's kind of glass cannon-y. So this is
Extremely glad. Not even kinda. The thing is,
I mean, the
glass
fact that
cannon.
Salazzle can toxic poison and steal mons, though.
Yeah, it is nice. I mean, that's what Salazzle's probably going to do, is switch in and just try to toxic
Toxic.
something.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's kind of like the perfect steel answer because of the fire typing to able to actually hit it. But yeah, just too many rock weaknesses on here, and you can only put 1 boots. So, all right, but that was our final team. I gave them a 3 out of 9 on my scale. So with that said, though, before we go and look at the schedule,
The moment we're all waiting for.
what the schedule?
Oh,
No,
is
this
where
part.
you-
This part.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now we got to rank
Clear 'em
these.
out.
So, do you guys think we'll need an additional rank on here, or do you think 4 is fine?
I think 4 is fine.
All right. So,
Fancy thinks we need a D just to put people in their place.
I'll
so
be
go ahead and do
honest.
it.
I think some
Oh.
might be D.
I think
Okay.
all
we'll do it.
Okay, we'll do it.
I'm an asshole tonight. Usually I'm nice when it comes to tier lists. Tonight I'm like,
Maybe not.
Why can't I click that?
no more Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah, it's a new season, new you.
Plus, I always want the D.
There you go.
Heyo.
Hey, that's funny.
All right, so let's go back in reverse order again, just for those who didn't remember. So we got the Worcester Delibirds. If you guys need me to go back to the team, let me know. But he was
I'm gonna
Mewtwo,
open up
Zapdos,
the-
Tentacruel.
I'll pull him up on my, on the side
Yeah.
while we're
Yeah,
doing
that's what
this.
I'm doing as well. I can do it from
But,
the Discord, right?
Yeah, it's under the rules page. But I'll pop it up here. Entei, Flygon, Stakataka.
Yeah, I liked this team. I think this is an A. Honestly, I think this is a good A team.
Yeah,
That's what I put them at. Trevor, do you agree with that?
I would say an A team as well. I think
Josh?
with a psychic terrain person, they could be S. So
Mhm.
that's just
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, just
Solid
to
A.
bring Mewtwo up to crazy
And
god
stop.
level. Yeah.
and stop all priority against yourself, because you have a lot of mons that are weak to very prevalent priority moves.
Yeah. Josh, do you agree with that, or do you think they should go up or down?
A sounds right. There's only maybe 2 or 3 teams that I would say fit an S. I don't think it's Worcester Billingbirds.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got the Waco Scissors. So, Josh, where do you think yourself should go?
Probably D tier.
Oh no.
No, not
at
even
all.
close.
Not even
All right, S
I
tier.
put
You guys
Josh in the
insist.
A tier as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I had him like
Show the team
middle to
again.
low A tier. Right here. So you got Kieran, Dracozolt, Scizor, Heracross. His biggest thing was he was lacking bulk.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
that's
honestly,
literally it.
due
You have
due
all
to
the
lack
cores.
of
You
bulk,
have all the
you know,
cores, just
yeah.
need a little bit more bulk, because honestly,
Yeah.
speed boost Sharpedo is scary. Scizor hits like a truck, has priority, only weak to fire. There's not very much fire out there because somebody, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, took them all.
Who took the fire types?
Who did that? Who dressed
What
fire
monster?
types? So, like, with all the fire types being taken by somebody, not gonna name names, I think
A
it's an A.
sexy
for
and
sure.
amazing human being, I'm sure, took all the fire types.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
All right. So
Yeah, I put him at an A. Let's
Yeah,
give him
same.
an A.
all right. So next we got
He's
the Vero
down on
Beach.
himself. He's still
Yes.
muted. He's not even happy about the grade. Come on, Josh.
A is better than I expected. So
No, you have the
Oh,
cores.
yeah.
You just need some bulk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, just
Lord.
a little bit of bulk. Vero Beach Volcarona. So this was our steel type gym leader
Yeah.
right here.
I feel like it's
It's
B.
not
It's
really.
not the
I
worst.
think this is a C. I was gonna think a C, honestly.
Yeah,
like,
it's not
I
a
think there's
D.
like some.
Yeah.
It's not a D. It's not
It's
the
not a
worst
D.
team, but I don't think it's good enough for D. I think it's C, honestly.
Yeah.
Just-
When I
those
did my ranking, I
weaknesses.
only did it down to C, so I had them as a low B, which I
Okay.
think now that we're adding D would put them as a high C.
Yeah, I would agree.
yeah.
Because I
Yeah,
do
I
think they
agree with
have
that.
the offense and the defense.
The bulk's there.
Yeah, yeah.
Because obviously
Yeah.
Steel and
They-
Rock
they-
are
they
huge,
just need to
bulky
drop,
types.
like, one of those
The
steel
bulk and the
types and
power,
maybe
just type diversity,
of-
like we talked
yeah.
about. You know.
Yeah.
they do a couple trades or free agent picks when we get into week 3 or 4, and then they're a totally different team, and then you're scared of them, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So
Take them on
this could be a C that jumps up to an A with a
I
move or
played them
two.
week
Yeah.
1, so good
Yeah.
thing they can't do that before.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta wait a couple weeks. Feel it
Yeah.
out.
Hey,
Mhm.
hey, Volcarona, you're gonna see Ho-Oh, just so you know.
Just so you know.
Oh no! There's your title for the video, Ryan.
Yeah, Ho-Oh, oh no.
Oh, I'm sure Trevor will be
Oh,
recording
no.
and posting his own. He's
Yeah.
got his format, so
There you go.
we'll just put it on the
Well then,
playlist.
Trevor, there's your title.
Yeah. Ho-Oh, more like,
Oh.
oh no.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Although Ed also does record it and send it to me, so maybe we'll have a
Both.
different point of view.
Perspectives on it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I could record it, Ryan, and we could do it as a broadcast team,
Yeah.
like we're watching it if you wanted to.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. That
Cool.
wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, next up we got the Tokyo Togekiss. So this is Excadrill, Tapu Bulu, Blastoise, Arcanine, Sceptile.
I think a very
Uh,
strong
yeah.
high B, even maybe low A team.
I agree. I think
Yeah.
B or A. You know, definitely again, like I think there needs to be a little bit more bulk on this team. You know what I mean? But yeah, BA, high B, low A.
Hmm
I agree with
What do you
Trevor.
think, Josh?
I could also say high B. There's a couple different strategies we can go with here. It's a pretty fast team. I think high B works.
All right, I had them as a high A, but I'll listen to you guys and put them in B.
Wait, click the
Um,
team again.
Don't let your numbers bias
don't
you,
let-
Ryan.
No, I mean that's how I did it though.
I
Of
just
course
think
that's-
this team kind of counteracts each other. Like you said, if they were to get rid of the Excadrill or the Tapu and build the team around that other core, I think they would be an A.
But I do think if you just use Excadrill as like a dedicated lead,
He hits
It's
too
not-
hard. He has too high of an attack to be a lead, though. You know what I mean? And then
but a
know
lot
it's
of leads are going to be rock types, so you can kill them
That's true.
and then set up your rocks with a sash, and you've basically prevented their hazards.
But
right?
are a
Yeah.
lot of the teams going to have rock leads in this league? Like, you know what I mean? Looking at our league, I don't know.
I think everybody has rock leads. No,
I mean,
I'm half
setting up-
joking, but
I don't have a rock lead.
no,
I have
you,
rock leads with
you have
rocks.
you have a
I
ground
mean, I do.
lead.
I do. I
I
got
have ground
shuckle.
lead. I would say close
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I can see high B. I can see some weaknesses. But a couple moves, I think they could be like an S team.
They could be an S. They could go all
Yeah.
the way to S very
Oh,
easily.
yeah. But I think that's true for a lot of teams. You know what I mean? One or two, and we've talked about this in previous seasons. You know, it's crazy how one or two Pokemon can really
make or
shift
break.
how good it
Yeah.
make or break a team on like where we put it in the tier list and how they do in a season. I mean, again, last season, Duraludon was a huge pickup for me that did like so much work throughout the season and helped make my team. Again, speaking of Tokyo, Melmetal for them last season was a huge pickup that totally warped how good they were as a team.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? From an 0-5 team to, making
Oh, I was cheering
playoffs,
for Tokyo. Tokyo was my favorite team last season. So I mean,
Yeah. So I mean,
I
it's
loved
great.
it. I
great.
mean, I was
So
fanboying the whole way with Melmetal. I was like, kill them all.
As the first person to die for them, I do not appreciate that, but it's fine.
I loved it.
But more importantly, like, I think the big thing is like a lot of these tiers, like we're saying, these are just on the initial kind of teams. These teams definitely, even if you're in a C or a D team, like we were just talking about Volcarona, the Volcaronas, they're a C team right now. One or two Pokemon could easily make them into an A or an S. You know what I mean? Like they have a lot of potential.
Tokyo has a very high ceiling. So does Vero Beach.
It also all depends on like what the player the coach is thinking about how they want to build it with stat pools and move pools and all that. We could see.
We don't know the madness going on behind the scenes.
Nobody does.
Simple beam and calm minds away.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you, in singles it rules.
All right. I'll look into it. Maybe
I like meme teams.
Maybe if
I like
I don't
making meme
use
teams.
like
I was
a
gonna say
C
it sounds like a
bigger
meme,
sign.
but I'll take it.
I like meme teams. Beating people with meme teams and making them rage quit is what I live for.
All right. Next up, we got the mighty Psyducks. Oh, I kind of skipped over it here, I guess. Lugia, Urshifu. I mean, yeah, dragons and stuff. So
This is the big fairy weakness.
yeah, Trevor, where do you like
Let me see it.
Psyducks?
I mean, honestly, with the first two, I don't know if I mean, low B is what I'd like to say, but it's probably a high C just because the big glaring weakness and too many dragon types, drafting something that's very similar to each other instead of getting diversity is the only reason I might put it C over B. But Lugia and Urshifu are, I mean, scary in their own right. So
Yeah. I think
I was honestly thinking a D or C tier. Honestly,
C's
like,
fine.
I want to go C. Actually, well, I guess I actually had them as a bottom C in mine, which is the worst ranking I could
to me,
give
yeah,
them
like
when I did.
honestly,
So
like
I guess I
I'm
would go
looking
D.
at this like this on like I'm not trying to be harsh to the Psyducks. I know it's a meme in this league, but like this looks like one of the worst teams like drafted to me, honestly.
Well,
there's not
the
very
worst.
much fairy taken though, is the thing. Not very many people took fairy.
Yeah, it's hard to get good fairies because they're all in, the high
High
Mhm.
tiers,
so you
fairies
only get one
busted.
pick out of them. Yeah.
Fairies busted.
But okay, Josh, you got to be the tiebreaker here.
Well, I hesitate to give anybody a D, so I'm gonna say a very, very low C.
I'm the advocate for the D tier.
I mean, I'll say I originally gave them a C, even though my tier list didn't include D. So I think 3 out of 4 say C. All right, PSG. So this is our Lieutenant Surge team right here. A lot of electric types, a lot of ground weakness just overall. So Anthony, where do you have PSG?
High C, low B would be kind of where I'm at for this. Again, yeah, just a lot of needing the type variation. I'm not like if that's all can be a little more bulky, and yes, there's red to steel, but like I think I want a little bit better on the bulk. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Again, high C, low B.
Trevor, what do you think?
Yeah, I say middle C actually. They're not the worst in C tier, but I think with a couple moves they have a higher ceiling as well. So
All right. I had them ranked as a low B, which I guess adding an extra tier could be high C. So Josh, I'll let you be the tiebreaker, B or C.
We just want to delete the D tier so I don't confuse everything.
No, it's fine. I'm sure someone will fall in there.
I'm gonna say a high C. I'm gonna say ahead of Volcarona, just because there doesn't be
because the electric resists the steel. I see where you're going with this.
Yeah. No, I think there's a little more variety on this team than there is on in Volcarona. So
yeah, there's at least some like type variety, and it's got Slush Rush Dracozolt, so Bandit. All right, next we got Anthony, the Pittsburgh Poltergeist. So this is the Sun team. I gave you S. So if someone wants to disagree with me,
weather reigns supreme in almost anything, and I think in singles, Sun is better than water. Doubles, water reigns beats everything.
Yeah.
Obviously,
water
and
reigns
down. I just think in singles, fire is better, and I mean, besides, the only reason I'd say A over S is because Vileplume is basically Venusaur light.
Yeah,
and,
but I mean, he's gonna drop.
Yeah, I know.
I think that was a waste of a draft pick.
Yeah.
You're horrible for that, but I still think the team.
I thought it was a waste as well. And then
I had to do it to spite my fiance because he hates Vileplume so much. And I'm like,
all right, I mean, I can take
enough.
that.
And then I think Ninetales is just not as good Groudon as well. So.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I already explained myself with that one.
Yeah, you did.
The picks I'm more confused.
Yeah, you did. You did explain.
You did it.
I just don't like it.
Listen, to me, like the big glaring weakness is, like I said, the Vileplume pick definitely. A lot of the other ones I'm just trying out. Whimsicott, could probably arguably be a lot of those Venusaur, but it has just different typing. But it does have a lot of potential. I've seen it on other Sun teams that I've kind of watched videos on.
Chlorophyll Whimsicott works in singles.
Yeah,
you don't have to have
growth. Yeah, no, exactly. So I definitely think there could be a little bit diversity changes, but I think I'm already aware of them. So like that even just judging the team, I like to think my team was built pretty well. Let's say by the end of the draft, there, like I said, besides the two picks where I was like cursing Trevor, I was like, this went exactly the way I wanted it to go. And this team looks pretty much exactly the way I wanted to go to win this.
All right. So Josh, you'll be the tiebreaker again, S or A?
Yeah. I'm going to say S because so far these teams on the board, this is the one with the clearest strategy, and I think from X tier to C tier Pokemon, everything can fit into that strategy. I mean, we've seen teams where after you get past the first 5, it doesn't really seem you don't really know what's going on. Where you could kind of draw from your entire pool here and really bring something different every time. Even Vileplume.
Nice.
Even Vileplume.
Probably not Vileplume.
One of the games I'm bringing in for the memes. I
love it.
Sweeping Vileplume.
All right. So next we got your team, Trevor, the Oklahoma Thunderous.
Yeah. Thunder. I'm gonna play it before every video. Just say.
There you go. Now don't get copyright struck.
Yeah. Copyright struck.
Just in your own mind. So yeah, Ho-Oh, Rillaboom, Como. Again, I said like this top 6 is probably the most complete 6 that we had. Josh, where would you put Oklahoma?
I don't want to say just because we're on the draft video together, but I think also
I totally agree.
Yeah, D for sure.
No, I also think S because maybe it's not like a super clear like Sun strategy, right? But there's a lot going on here, a lot of bulk options, protection, I think that this is going to team that's going to have answers to anything that's thrown at it.
I honestly, again, also when you saying it just because you're here, Trevor, that I think this is the next team as well. Looking at this team, you know what I mean? Like Ryan said, those first 6 are insanely good. I love those first 6 right off the bat. You know what I mean? And the C-Ticks, if you bring them, you bring them. If or if you want to switch them around, I think you have a lot of freedom to kind of do that. But those 6 are very, very good Pokemon.
Yeah, I went with immunities. I built the team around being able to switch and take little to no or 0 damage. So that was my
Seems solid,
strat.
solid strat.
All right, next up we got Alex's team, the Lavender Town Gengars. Let's scroll over to them again to remind everybody. So this was the original Rain team since they picked Kyogre with the second overall pick. Yeah, Toxapex. I mean, they got some good bulk on here. Kyogre, Toxapex, Porygon, Togekiss. So, Josh, where you like Lavender Town?
I'm gonna say like a high. Maybe, well, I'm gonna say B. I'm not sure where I'd rank it in the B tier. But I think there's definitely a clear winner in terms of Rain teams in the draft here. Maybe with a couple of different picks, this team could really shine. But I'm gonna say B.
I'm gonna leapfrog here, and I'm gonna say that I put them as a C team.
Yeah, they're a high C. Just
I was
because
literally gonna say C.
The electric weakness is too big.
Yeah. So I guess if the electric weakness is too big, we got to put them below Paris, right?
Edit
Paris
out
is
all
the
the
electric
stuff.
team.
Ryan, edit out all the stuff I said about them being a B tier.
No, that's fine.
No, I mean they
all have opinions.
I mean, weather is good regardless. I mean, weather is always good. It's just too much of the same hurts you sometimes.
And they don't have anything that can benefit from like fire attacks being weaker. Like you don't see any steel or grass Pokemon that are like, ooh, now I'm gonna like be neutral or something to these fire attacks to be able to benefit from that. So I mean, the Rain isn't doing much for their team other than Kyogre hitting harder.
Yep.
Or Swift Swim, Poliwrath, which is like
Yeah, which is
firmly
belly drum.
It can belly drum.
It can belly drum, so that's a thing.
fan.
All right, the LA Kinglers. So this was Zekrom, Hippowdon, Aegis / Snorlax. This was the one, Trevor, that you said they get a Trick Room setter, and you think they could be a pretty complete team.
They could be S if they were.
So without the Trick Room setter, where do you put them, Trevor?
Honestly, this is the team when we went back through that I believe Anthony wasn't so high on. And then I was like, if they had a Trick Room center, though, the bulk's there. They have hard-hitting bulk. They have good singles.
Yeah, it's a
very
bulky offense team right now, but it's very slow, bulky offense.
I would say
I agree.
The furthest to the right on A, but definitely an A tier.
I don't know if
I had them as a B.
without the Trick Room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Trick Room, yes. Let's say put them in A, but like looking at current team comp, B.
Yeah, let me see the team again.
B.
Click it.
Click it. Like I feel like Leafeon and
Leafeon. What the hell is it doing?
Yeah.
You know
and again, Wishy-Washy. Like if this thing can't hit first, like once it gets hit with a super effective attack, it's useless.
Yeah, that's true. High B, higher than Tokyo then.
Okay, higher than Tokyo.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, I think
Tokyo's
I had
better
Tokyo pretty high A, so I would probably put them below Tokyo. Josh, what do you think? B, but higher or lower than Tokyo?
We'll say lower. I think this is another team with a high ceiling, right? If they can get that Trick Room.
Yeah, get a good. They need a good Trick Room Pokemon though. You can't get a Trick Room Pokemon that's going to die because then someone could be able to stall out a couple turns. You need
to try to trade the person with Dusclops.
Yeah, but I think Dusclops kind of benefits that team a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
So, yeah. You think Alex is going to trade Porygon?
No, but I'm just saying you can try.
Yeah.
All right,
there's Trick Room centers in C right now.
Yeah.
You could easily just go get. So
we got the El Paso Electros. So this is another one that you said could really use Indeedee, but I think Indeedee doesn't add too much to it as the pairing with Mewtwo does. a lot of ground weaknesses and a lot of dark or ghost weaknesses. So, Josh, where would you put El Paso? You're
Josh,
muted,
you are
Josh.
not.
Muted.
You are not talking to us.
All right, sorry. Yeah. The lack of protection for their psychic Pokemon, I think really hurts this team a lot. Like, yeah, Alakazam can hit hard, Eternatus can hit hard, but without that extra protection, I'm gonna say well, okay, maybe I'll be wrong again, but low B maybe potentially offensively powerful. Or...
I think Anthony. I'm thinking this might be a D team.
Yeah, I really might.
I
It might
agree.
be a D.
This is why you know,
Josh
like,
is too nice.
like I didn't want. I was saying I didn't want to like
Because
you know, the reason
now
I talked
that
about
I
the
looked
D-
at it for like a third time,
It's
okay,
so
we went over the
squishy.
ground weaknesses. We went over the other than Steelix, you are and Cresselia, you're super squishy.
Too
but-
squishy.
Ground hits like this whole team. Dark and
Everything,
Ghost
yeah.
hits a lot of these offensive Pokemon. Psychic actually hits a lot of these 1, 2, 3, 4, like pretty hard. And I mean, sure, the Psychics will resist it, but again, we already talked about those. I just feel like there's so many weaknesses that are compounded by each other that a certain Pokemon can really like. Teams are going to have Pokemon that can break through this. You're not going to be able to find a matchup where you're like, ooh, I don't have a Pokemon that I'm not like afraid of.
Now, don't feel bad though, El Paso. With
Yeah.
Alakazam, if you build the perfect
Yeah.
core around Alakazam, you could win every game.
Yeah, no, there are threats here.
Yeah.
Nidoqueen can be a
absolutely.
pretty bulky Life Orb attacker. That's another thing, though. You got two Pokemon that really want Life Orb, right?
Orb.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, Sash Zam is not.
yeah, you
terrible
could
either
Sash
because
in. You could
can
also
nasty
spec
plot
Zam.
Sash and then just
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely, yeah. This is why I like brought up a D tier because like I feel like lumping a bunch of teams in the C, like you know what I mean,
Yeah.
definitely delineates some of the teams where I'm like, ooh, like this is like
There's just two
gonna,
glaring
there's gonna be some
weaknesses,
work. There's gonna be some work to put into this team to get it. You know, like we talked about some teams you could change 1 or 2 Pokemon and you'd easily move them up a couple tiers, 2 tiers, 3 tiers, whatever. This team, I'm like, ooh, you got to change a lot to get this team where I
Yeah.
want it to be.
Agreed.
All right, next we got the Denver Ninetales. So this was the other rain team that
Mhm.
did pretty
the
well.
only real winning team. Let's
yeah.
not lie to
Okay, yeah,
ourselves.
dedicated
Rain.
rain team, right? We can say
Yeah.
dedicated. So yeah, I don't think we gotta say too much about this. I
It's an
mean,
S.
it's my wife, but I love her
I'd even
and I
put her
love this
above
team.
me. You know what I mean? I'm not even going to be like
Well, I mean,
cocky here. I'd put her top of S tier to me.
water beats
Yeah.
fire. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and like Trevor brought up, she can also just set up
the
you know,
speed.
yeah,
Trick room.
Calyrex is bulky enough that it can set up a trick room and then it's gonna sweep things in those
Mhm.
4 turns.
Especially because the attack ups every time it kills
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So yeah, it just
Yeah.
snowballs
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
you're not gonna be able to resist much with because it gets pretty good coverage.
Mhm.
Glacial Lance, high horsepower. It can run like Steel or I forget the other move that it sometimes runs as its third move, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I think they're the team to beat in my opinion.
They always draft so well. I don't know what happens during the season. No, I'm joking.
Well, she does.
I mean, she made it to
can't
the
get
finals,
weakness
but-
policies.
Yeah, maybe I'll
Let's
have to
be
buy her
honest.
one. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm gonna because I made it to Master Ball again this season, so I'm gonna get like 1,000 freaking BP next time I log in. I'll be generous. All right. For Mother's Day this year, I'm gonna buy her a weakness policy.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. She better
Because she's your
appreciate it.
weakness. Hey.
Oh.
Aw, gross.
All
right.
Mind you, this is in the same podcast with a losers to beating her.
All right. Driftvale City Dragapults. So
I'm dead.
Magearna, Dragapult, Nidoking, Raikou, Milotic, Regidrago.
This is an A team to me, you know, right off the bat. You know, I think this is definitely an A. Like I said, you know, I knocked them down from what you guys were saying about them, but that wouldn't knock them out of an A tier
Yeah.
team right
No,
here.
definitely not.
I agree
for
with
me.
that.
Mhm.
Do you agree with that, Josh?
Yeah, there's a lot of in the first 5 Pokemon there. There's a lot of coverage of different things and a lot of options.
I would probably put them below these teams though. For Waco and Worcester, where would you put them?
I agree. Like I said,
I think they're
to
in the
me,
right
like you were
spot.
rating them all similarly.
Yeah.
Like I said, I thought they were a little lower than like when you were kind of doing your like criteria. So, I'd say bottom of A, but again, I don't think you're like,
Yeah.
this isn't me.
Yeah,
saying
it's all
bottom
close. I'm
A,
just saying if we're
B,
because
you
you
know what I
guys
mean?
were
I'm not
saying
even
like, oh,
saying, like,
Denver's better. Oh, LA's worse than Tokyo. So I'm just saying like, okay, if we're doing this.
I'm just saying, I'm saying it more so like I'm not even questioning like high B. Like I think this is a solid A, like solid A.
Yeah. All right. Next, we got the Charm City Charizards. So this is the
Earthquake kills. team.
another
Yeah,
Earthquake kills
me.
team. Yeah. So
This
where do we like Charm City?
This is another D team to me, or low
Let me
C,
see it.
low C, D.
I had them as a high C on mine.
C, I would say C just because they still have like hitters. I understand that Earthquake kills, but at the same time, they have the speed tier with the power. It's not going to do as much, but how many people actually took ground in this, like pure ground types? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, similar to Fairy, like we kind of talked about, a lot of the high, like really, really good ground types are all high tier.
Yeah. So you got to really prioritize them.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what I said, but do we want to move the Psyducks down to D just because we got all these C's?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I was thinking they were a D team. Y'all were like C.
Go.
I was like, this is a D team.
All right. So next we got the reign champs, Boston. Josh, where do you like Boston?
Well, I have to say it's Legends of the Arena tier. Champions of the Arena tier. There we go. But that's not an option. So
yeah, I was trying. I thought you were making a reference to someone. I was like, "What's that a reference to?"
It's a reference to Apex Legends.
Yeah, I know, but I thought there was like something in there, like how they have Masters, Predator, Gold. I was like, "Wait, what is he alluding to?"
Oh yeah,
like
I'm back to
rank?
smiling. Back to smiling and waving.
Yeah,
Apex does start with an A.
Apex does start with an A.
Yeah, I wouldn't say S, but I think A and probably a high A. Just because you have a lot of options.
You need a sweeper, like you.
Yeah.
You just don't have enough hitters yet, is what it is.
Yeah, I just need one good breaker.
Yep, and then your ceiling is there. I would agree.
All right. So, okay, Anthony, where would you put me then in A?
Top A.
Yeah, top A.
I'll take that. I think that's where I was last season.
Like if you had a really hard hitter, you'd be S.
Yeah.
So.
All right, and last but not least, the Black City Zekrom. So again, this is Matt likes to go with the all offensive team. Again, a look at Boston for those who wanted to remember.
Look, man, no walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
no,
but a lot of speed and a lot of power, and that's how he's done it the last couple seasons. Just
hit
broken people.
Break. He's got a lot of wall breakers.
If you don't have a plan for the speed here, he's gonna cause a problem. Yeah. Again, the one noteness I think definitely means I don't think we're going above C in my opinion.
I want to put him as the last B because I think
low B.
I think the way his team is built, again, super fast, super hard. All the C and D teams can't keep up with it. Yeah,
that's fair.
They would all lose to it.
I'll give you that. That's fair. You know what I mean? I was thinking like high C, like so.
And somebody doesn't come prepared, just like you said, and they get the W.
Yeah.
So
and that's what he's done ever since he's joined the league. He usually ends up like 4-4, just makes the playoffs, but he smacks those bad teams. He either loses 6-0 against like a good, well put together team, or he sweeps 6-0 because he goes up against these, lower.
Go big or go home starts with a B.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah.
So.
Do you agree with that, Josh?
I'll take it.
This is the definition of a glass cannon team.
Yeah,
it could really go either way.
And so look at this. We almost have like a perfect kind of symmetry here.
Yeah, it looks
too,
good.
Yeah, it looks good. I like it. Nice, like
quick, make up a team and put them in D.
All right, let me draft real quick. Yeah. What do we got left?
All right. So yeah, so for everybody watching, that's the final tier list here for that. We're gonna just hop over real quick, look at the schedule now
Schedule.
Shajawale.
for the season. Hopefully you guys can see Worcester there.
Yeah, we can see it. Or I can.
I can
All
see it
right,
all.
so
Small, but I can see it.
yeah. So I mean, I can zoom it in for the folks at home a little bit, and then we'll just scroll over a bit. So yeah, so the way the schedule works is you play against everybody in your division once. You play against everybody in the other divisions who had your same standing from last season. So all the number 1 teams from the divisions all have to play each other, all the number 2 teams, all number 3 teams. And then we had 4 new teams starting this season. So they each went in one different division. So all the new teams play each other. And then you had 2 random teams that you play against. So that's 8 games throughout the 8 weeks. So
Of the teams we put in the tiers, Ryan, you gave yourself the hardest schedule.
I know, bro. Well, I gotta go. I won it all, so I gotta go up against like the winner of the North Division.
Heyo.
This one's a random team, but I gotta go up against you,
Yeah.
Trevor. I gotta give you some competition when you join the league.
Yeah.
I gotta go up against the winner of the West Division. You know, again, one of the random teams, but we gave him a very good grade as well. So I guess the random teams kind of screwed me over a bit.
You got
Yeah, you
screwed
got
on the
You got
I say
two
you have
very
literally
high-
every
High graded
That's
random
good.
teams.
Yeah.
and every
That's
8
fine.
team.
I wanna go like 4-4 or 5-3, squeak in the playoffs, win 1 round, and then pass the trophy. That would
See,
be my perfect season right here.
Yeah, no, I don't want a free one, I want full.
No, I'm gonna
on.
try, but
Okay, good.
I'm doing it. Last
I think
time
you're
I
playing
did a
me week
theme,
2. Bring the Torkoal.
the last time I did a theme, last time we did singles, I did all Spider-Man villains. So I was the Sinister Six every week.
Mm.
And I made it to the semifinals. So even when I do something fun, I'm still competing.
Yeah, wouldn't you say you're a doubles player though?
Yeah, probably. I do tend to play it more than singles, but I
Yeah,
mean,
me too. I only play singles and draft leagues. I don't play singles.
It's so
otherwise.
funny. Like I used to consider myself, and I talked about this on the podcast. I used to be solely a singles player. You know what I mean? Singles has always been my bread and butter until Sword and Shield, in which I have literally not touched the singles
yeah.
meta.
Well,
at
Dynamax
all.
ruins the online singles
Yeah,
meta.
it
I'm not
really
really
does.
like a showdown person. Like I'll go on there and practice sometimes for
Yeah,
things,
no, but that's always been my bread and butter is singles, and I was always like, screw doubles, I'm not touching it. I like singles, and then this
and I
gen,
really
I've
wanted to
literally
get
been
into
like,
actually go to tournaments and VGC stuff, but then the pandemic happened, so that all kind of got canceled. But I actually wanted to like try that with this generation. So hopefully
Same. I did too.
next year
yeah.
that might be a
I've
thing.
actually found to love doubles a lot more than I thought I would. You know, I think doubles is
Yeah.
a really fun
Yeah, this
format.
is a really fun format this generation.
I definitely agree. But yeah, I think, bottom line is, we'll see how it goes for everyone at the end of the day. I think, just because you picked a fun team, I mean, look, we're still rated top A, you know what I mean? Like there's, picking around a theme, there's still solid strategies you can make.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just want to look at your guys' schedule while we're on here. So, Trevor, we got yours. You got to go up against Vero, the Psyducks, and El Paso. So you got the 2D teams in your schedule, but they, we'll see how that kind of ranks out. You got to go against Waco, Josh, the Delhi Birds, and the Gangars. Those are the new teams. You got to go against everybody here on the podcast, actually.
I do.
Because your
I do.
random teams
Heyo.
are against me and Anthony here. So you got to go up against a few A teams and S team as well. So don't think your schedule is a walk, buddy.
Oh, I didn't think it was a walk. I definitely don't think so.
Looking at my schedule, I'm pretty intimidated too. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
you got look at your beginning. Like
Three
this is a
really-
pretty fearsome beginning right
You
here.
actually have a harder schedule than Ryan.
Yeah.
Literally
you
every
got
A
the other
team.
two. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the 3 A teams, the other 2 S teams down here.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
ooh, that
And
is
by the time I play against like, some of the lower teams,
Yeah,
they have
they could
time
have
to make
changed some
those
stuff
changes.
around.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they have the time to make the changes.
yeah.
I'm a little shaking in my boots looking at my schedule, I'm not gonna lie.
That's what you get for doing so good a season before. You gotta go up
Damn it.
against the best.
How dare I be good at this game?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you were a new team last season, so you went up against other new teams. So maybe you were just better than the new players, Anthony. I don't know.
Sorry, I guess. I don't know what to say.
I don't know. All right. And then, whoa, forget about this is the hardest schedule right here.
Just 3 weeks.
Those
That first
3 in a
3 weeks
row.
is
And-
rough.
And then he gets a little bit of rest. But
Yeah.
That S tier.
damn, Josh, if you
Week
walk
1,
out of
2,
this
3.
like 2-1, like
Those first 3 weeks are going to be really demoralizing, and I'll drop the rest of the season.
don't. Oh my goodness. Wow. That is
Once you make it
Start
through
from
the
hell.
hell 3 weeks, I think you're fine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Looking at the other teams you've got.
but it'll definitely be interesting. Like Trevor brought up, Scissor is very good against the Rain team. So Scissor can do a lot of work in that week
Bring
1.
Scizor against me, please. Oh
Don't
my
do that.
God. Please,
Don't do that.
please
Please don't do
bring
that.
Scizor.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Daddy's hungry.
Well, week 3, he'll be able to change some stuff around. So you'll have to go up against
He'll
he might
finally
pick
have
something
bulk.
up to get you. Yeah.
He'll be
Yeah.
bulky.
Yeah.
Pick up some bulky waters. Oh wait.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I
Grass
think
team.
that this game will be very good because I think like Trevor, you kind of brought up your team is like bulky, has good like opportunities to switch in. And I think Josh, while his team isn't bulky, it hits very hard. So I think that'll be
Mhm.
like kind of an even sort of like
Yeah.
back and forth. You guys will just be hitting against each other. And it's gonna be like I think a critical hit or two might sway the game. You know what I mean? I think it'll be kind
He's
of like
calling
one
it
of those
now,
games.
folks. Let's see. Let's see.
I just think that like RNG might
RNG's
call
this.
that one.
I've
Yeah.
had RNG go in my favor before. Last time I played, it was like down to me and a Gyarados in doubles, and the Gyarados missed
Pray
4
to
times in a row.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So
No, you iron headed it like 4 times, right? And flinched it. With
yeah,
Excadrill. Yeah.
yeah, I had it flinched multiple times. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super low.
Yeah, I remember that. And your Excadrill was at like 1 HP the entire time.
Yep.
When did they
Maybe
give Excadrill Green Grace? That's the question.
All righty. So yeah, so guys, thanks for sticking with the long
Have you
podcast.
stuck through the whole thing?
Yeah, I know.
Congratulations.
Well, I hope they did because we're announcing our 500 sub giveaway right now. So they better
Whoa!
stick to the end. Yes, 500 subs. So here's what we're doing. Make sure you're subscribed. Okay. Make sure you hit that like button on this video. All right. And put hashtag global 500 in your comment. Do a comment, do hashtag global 500 500. And I didn't put any images together, but we're going to announce what the giveaway is going to be. Third place is going to be a Pokemon Switch like carrying case for your Switch. That's
Very cool.
That's the third place prize. I actually have it,
Pokeball.
but I just don't have it here.
Is it the
in
Pokeball?
this room.
I have the
No, it's got
Pokeball.
like Pikachu and a bunch of stuff. It looks
Oh.
cool. I can go grab it real quick. You guys talk. Say something.
something.
Panicking. I don't know what to say.
We've been on the podcast so long that it's dark behind Trevor now.
Yes, it is. That's why I had to. Thank God I have a ring light because watch this.
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah, that's not good.
Trade secret. There's like a whole bunch of naked people behind the poltergeist right now. I'm just trying to hide that. They've been real quiet. Don't tell Ryan. Nobody tell
Yeah.
Ryan who's watching.
Nobody
Nobody,
tell
tell Ryan.
Ryan.
Fuck.
All right. So yeah, no, it's a cool black case. It's got a
that
little
is cool.
Pikachu band
I like
here.
that.
Um,
I like the black
Yeah.
and yellow.
yeah, you know, it's subtle, but you can be rocking it. It's got a nice little button band here, so that'll be third place. I'll send you this awesome thing. I picked it up at GameStop a couple weeks ago. Said like, ooh, that might be something good to give away. Second place is gonna be a GPS T-shirt from the shop. Whatever your favorite team is,
Woo.
you'll get a free T-shirt. And the grand prize, for those who have been watching my live stream, we're gonna send you a copy of the new Pokemon Snap.
Nice.
Yep. So
Wow.
if you haven't picked it up yet, if you've been someone who's been watching the videos, maybe you've checked out our live stream or watched the recordings, and you're like, oh, okay, this game actually has a lot more going on than I thought it did. Yes, if you're the grand prize winner, we are gonna get you a copy of that game.
Are
So
league
How far are
members
you now?
able to?
yeah, league members can totally hashtag global 500.
How
So,
far are you into the game?
I only play when I'm streaming, so I haven't I'm like probably 4 hours in, but there's
You have
so
the
much to
desert?
do.
Yeah, there is. Do you have the
Yeah,
desert
there's so
yet?
much to do. Yeah. I
Okay.
just did the night desert.
So you haven't seen Flygon yet, or no?
No, I have
Okay.
not.
Fair.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the through the whirlwind. I assume that's where he is because that's what Flygon does.
Yeah.
I don't think I played the daytime after I unlocked level 2 because I did that on today's stream and I had to do it short because we were doing this afterwards. So I only played for like a half hour.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so again, guys, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button, hashtag global 500, enter for your chance to win some awesome swag or the grand prize, new Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
So
I'm ready for my T-shirt to come in. I ordered one.
yeah,
I was just saying, yeah, if I get second prize, I mean, do I get another Poltergeist t-shirt?
well, you could get a real winner's T-shirt.
I want my hat. I want a hat like you.
Yeah, this
I
I
will
had to
get
get
that
like
T-shirt to
custom
burn
made.
it
on
They don't do it
camera.
on the store.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unfortunately, yeah. This one I had to get custom, but who knows? Maybe I'll do that for a giveaway in the future.
Maybe
'Cause
I
it
can
actually wasn't
petition for a
that
legacy
expensive.
shirt with like little teacups all over it.
There you go.
Hey.
So yeah, so Josh, thanks for joining us. Anthony, pleasure as always, and Trevor, awesome to have you as part of the society. Again, guys, make sure you go subscribe to Couch Pilot Games,
Yeah, check out our videos.
of course, and as always, stay classy, society.
Be gay, do crime.